For the best TV viewing experience, witness the coziest maroons, the most vibrant and brightest moons, the eeriest and darkest tombs, and radiant and vivid hues in any type of room with the Neo QLED and OLED TVs by Samsung. We're supposed to say Samsung, but that didn't rhyme, so you're welcome. Samsung, more wow than ever.
How well do algorithms answer your questions?
Your specific query will be addressed with a pre-written standardized reply. Thank you, customer.
When you need help with life's important decisions like life insurance, home and auto coverage, and even retirement planning, turn to Farm Bureau Financial Services, the people who rely on relationships, not robots, to help you make smart decisions. Find us at fbfs.com/protect. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
let's get started.
I have thought a lot in the last 24 hours.
Time to get your weekly sports fix.
By the skin of their teeth, they lost.
Then you can just ride it the whole thing.
With Stix.
I'm trying to tell you, the anonymous wired homie, I'm telling you, this is a thing. Maybe I'm washed, but all of this wireless shit, you know what I'm saying? The best thing that came from not being wireless is the TV remote control, bro. After that, everything else was fucked up. The phone. Remember when we first got cordless phones? You could take it and walk around the house, but you couldn't fucking hear nobody. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Once they took the cords away, it was all bad, unless it was a TV remote.
I would argue the Stix, though. The Stix on the PlayStation without the wires.
Hey, that works.
That works. That's solid. I like that for sure. But you're 100% right. Like these damn earbuds. That whatever headset you got on there, homie, that's the one I need. What you got going on there? I know you stole it from the boy, but
I mean, seeing that I bought the kid a $300 headset because he was supposed to be an ace gamer. I mean, I might as well use it if he's not.
He's not an ace gamer. He's not an ace gamer. He's not. Well,
yeah, he is. But see, then we come to find out, okay, after all of this foolishness, that Joe Biden bought him this PlayStation 5 or whatever, with all this child credit money he was giving out, and we get the money to the kids. We don't need it. Thanks, Joe Biden. Peace. A little kid asking for a PlayStation. Cool. Here it is. And apparently, you can talk through the damn controller, bro. It's got a microphone, all that feedback, everything comes straight through the controller. So this shit became obsolete, man. So I just took over.
Nice. You got an extra one hanging out around there when you build the Stix and Announce Big Homie studio, or what?
No, I don't really like it coming across the face like this, though. I really think, though, dead serious, though. I mean, there's a production meeting that the world is hearing, but I think we really need to do individual mic with straightforward headphones. And not that I know anything about audio quality as it pertains to broadcasting, but that's what the hell everybody be doing. So that's got to be the way. You know what I mean? That's what Rick Dees used to do. Doing the top 40. Look at Rick D's top 40
Rick
in the
D's
morning.
Top 40.
Tell me what time it is. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you look like
to know that.
You look like you need to be up in the top of a freaking airplane. What do you call those things in the airport?
What?
Your airport the
air traffic controller. Air traffic controller.
Air traffic control. I have a problem with those big words, Barcot. You know I'm not as smart as you. Quit trying to talk down on me right now.
All I want to say is this, and I'm probably late to the party since I got in here last. I think there's a setup with Big Homie's outfit today. There's no way he accidentally wore Angels gear.
He always has a method to his madness. What the fuck am I trying to do here? There we go.
I tried to tell him, man. I said, look, I got to dig into, because clearly nobody that's, younger than us replicates wearing sports apparel like we did. Team apparel. We loved that shit, right? Jerseys, team jackets. This was just a part of our normal wear. We didn't just go buy a jacket. We had to have a team logo on the jacket. Since
starter, baby,
straight
UNLV.
I was just, but since middle school, bro, since the end of elementary school, we was looking at having stuff with team logos on there, right? And I still live that out. I mean, I'm getting a little old and / washed, so I don't wear it as much, but it's a whole tub of that shit. And I said, well, why not? Because let's go into the Homie Hall of Fame and pull out some visuals for the people, you know what I'm saying, to get with, because you can see how small this hat is. It's barely sitting on my head. Back in the day when my head wasn't, I guess apparently thinking too highly of myself. My head it was only a 7 1/4, so it only fits on the back nugget of my head at this point. But it's all good. It's on there. So I mean,
that was before the big pharma homie.
yeah, for real, man. Or
big pharma homie and all the medications made your damn head.
No. That was before big culinary homie, and until that stomach starts sticking out from all this eating and barbecuing and shit. Big Traeger homie, any of that. You know what I'm saying? Any big grill homie. All of that started happening. You know what I'm saying? Once the 30s hit, I started eating way too well. And don't even ask about after 40, because
that's on the next episode. We'll roll into the next episode with the after 40s, because we got a whole bunch of us over 40s around here.
Yeah, look, hey, you remember that old show 30 something? Forget that. We about to hit up the good 40 something.
Hell yeah, we got a lot to talk about in the 40s, that's for sure. Hey, well, we have a lot of shit to go over, and I can't wait to broaden the horizons, big homie. Broaden our horizons a little bit. I know you're gonna throw me some nuggets to
what the hell was you doing this
regurgitate?
Weekend? I mean, you were sitting up here talking about you over here moving U-Hauls and everything else. What the hell was going on, man? Yeah, well, you took off of this? You took off to help the homie move?
Yeah,
or
man.
You worked and got off and did it?
No, man. I can't. You have to plan that shit. You have to use that day off to do all that. Yep. We moved the neighbor, my boy Stu, out. We moved him up to the good old confines of the Everett Memorial area. So
what, he moved to a cemetery?
That's Everett. That's a different place up in there. But nice little place. Rolled up there, moved it out, started about 11, got everything done by 5:30. Rocked it. Got it done. I'm too I'm too old for that shit. Speaking of 40s, bro.
Hey, woo. I feel you. So that's what I was about to ask. So so you remember back in the day when you was in your 20s and you had to move, and you just had homies with just a rack of beer and some pizzas, right? And that was sufficient payment enough for everybody.
And you could
What was the payment this time at 40? Not so much of a whippersnapper, limping around, huffing and puffing real hard. Was it like inhalers? Was it what was the payment for?
It was a whole
40 helping somebody.
It was a whole lot of ice packs and massages. Electronic massage before bed, baby.
Shout out to Deshaun Watson.
We I needed one of those massages. We got it. We knocked it out. Had time to go hit some dinner and some cold brewskis. So on that, nice little payment for the move of the day. But hey, man, we knocked it out, got it all done. So if I decide to move here in the next 30 days, I expect both you motherfuckers to be able to roll up, load a U-Haul. I know Barcot, if the move goes through and this happens, and I don't want to tell everybody my business, but if I do have to move to the Tri-Cities, I know Barcot will be the first one out there to help me unload that motherfucker.
Oh, that is not what I thought you were going to say. Oh, look at that. Oh, I'm surprised. I thought you were going to say Barcot will be the first person to sign on the I am not going permission slip. Will not be attending.
He was smart enough to say that it's he had two qualifiers. A, it was if he comes back, and B, it was only to unload. He knows I'm not driving my fat ass. I'm not driving my fat ass over there to load up and come back.
You got to hit him in the sweet spot. You know what I'm saying? You got to know who you're working with. You got to know who your partners are.
Because I know.
I got to take him out. I got to take him out and introduce him to all my bartenders because I know he'll be getting out there a lot when he comes back.
Hey,
and I know damn well Anonymous Big Homie ain't signing up to move jack shit. He'd be like my guy in For the Love of the Game where he's like, yeah, where are the pillows?
I sent a note saying, I would love to attend, but ...
He might send you a pizza.
Yeah. Whatever you need, right? You need a U-Haul to be reserved for you, or you need some extra blankets. You need a dolly. Yeah, so you want me to pay for the, you know what I'm saying? Pay for the extra dolly to make it a little bit easier. You know what I'm saying? I got you.
Yeah, you got just to stay out of the moving and lifting shit. Hey, I don't blame you because after that, I realized you always see exactly what you were talking about, homie, back in the day. 20 something, 30 something, get your boys, grab some cold beverages, couple pizzas, hang out, move the shit. Oh man, it's a whole different ball game.
Spin a damn couch on my finger and throw it in the U-Haul like that. Like what? You know what I'm saying? Play Jenga with the U-Haul. It's perfectly.
If I have to help you unload, there will be one of these for free in my hand.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Hey,
I'd have to indulge in some of the old what the hell was that turkey? Wild
turkey.
No. See,
I don't do that cheap stuff.
You gotta roll. See, he's right on. See, you gotta have all the named men, you know what I'm saying, from Tennessee and Kentucky. You notice how they didn't fool around.
Jack, Jim,
Evan Williams, Jack Daniel, Jim Beam, Mark.
Those were
I don't even know what Mark's last name is, but I don't even need to know what Mark's last name is.
We know he's in Makers.
That's what I'm saying. He over there making some shit. He making some shit. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Nearest, all of them. You know what I'm saying? They over there getting busy.
And not to be too historic, but I do believe Maker's Mark was they were in business with it's slipping my mind right now, but they broke off of one of the other whiskey, one of the big name whiskeys over there.
Believe it or not, most of them actually were all in cahoots in some way. They all had stills, you know what I'm saying, rocking off of each other's recipe and shit like that. Yeah, man, that's the good old days, man. Good old when America made good shit. You know what I'm saying? Right, now we don't make nothing. Now we worried about supply chain because we don't make nothing no more. You know what I'm saying? We don't even make garments no more. We don't make we make good whiskey. You know what I'm saying? With bourbon. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, we don't make it. Well, we might make a couple good vehicles, but nobody want them. What the hell? We don't make nothing no more. Look, I'm about to get off my soapbox, man. Big financial homie, man. I've been watching too much Bloomberg, man. Let's go. Let's get into
it. Big financial homie now. Hey, all right. Check out the Sports Stix with Stix and Anonymous Big Homie on the YouTube channel. Subscribe, please. We'd appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show on whichever podcast platform you listen to. Go to thisisfunner.com for more podcasts and online content. Grab some merch while you're there from the Funner family. Follow me on Twitter at Stix015. Follow Anonymous Big Homie at homie_anonymous.
Yes, sir.
Use that hashtag. Homie's back in action. I seen him on the tweeter a little bit. Getting back in the mold of things. Hey, Aaron Barcot's here with us too. Appreciate you, brother.
Into his out.
Absolutely, my man. I've been waiting on getting caught up on this Mariner 100 win prediction.
Yeah, we'll get into that here soon. It's still in the works, baby. Still in the works, and I can't give away all my secrets of how it's gonna happen, but it's still gonna happen. I promise you.
Your secrets? Are you managing the team now, or what? Your secrets. You teaching them base running technique and shifting techniques, or what?
We're just giving you a little bit of a chance to here in the American League to, let everybody talk about you, be that silent assassin that's going to roll up and snipe your ass. Once you get into the July, August, September months, believe that, brah, it's coming. You wait.
You leaving too much. You leaving too much space for Senora Altuve, cabrón.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Senora Altuve, you know what I'm saying, is over there getting shit riled up. And I didn't think it was going to happen. I thought they was done and wrapped up, but they still kicking up dust wearing them good cowboy boots.
And that's one thing I hope Jason breaks out, because I busted out the YouTube from the last time the three of us were on here, our preseason predictions. And boy, were we all wrong a ton of places.
Oh, I said that. Yeah, here we go again. Let's go. We'll get into it, man.
We were all wrong everywhere, man.
Remember that, because when we get into baseball, I don't have them in front of me. I could probably find them if you give me about 27 minutes. You might be able to find them, but I know we kind of reference that, but we'll get into that for sure. Hey, homie, we do have to talk about, since the announced big homie and Stix retired from the gambling situation here for, we still peep it out, haven't really got into it lately, but we do have to talk a little bit about this old lefty Mickelson boy. What was it, 2012? No, 2010 to 2014, where old boy got busted by the feds were like checking his financials and shit like that, and found out he's 40 million in the hole in 4 years. Bro, I tried to look up everything on this to see what he's actually gambling on. We all know he gambles on golf and shit, right? Like when he goes and plays a practice round, they'll throw hundreds, thousands, whatever. Right? But what else is he gambling on?
Man-to-man, yeah.
Man-to-man gambling. But I've seen, and the only thing I could find is where he placed a bet on the Ravens to win the Super Bowl and the Diamondbacks to win the World Series. Those are the only two things I found, which he won. So does anybody have any information on what the hell he actually gambled on?
I can't find it.
Dude, I got something for you, man. I was listening to a show and they got into it like deep. And this is not opinions. We'll get into opinions after, but as far as what was known, factual. This is not even on him, right? The IRS is on the ass of, I think his name is Billy Walters. He's one of the most notorious sports gamblers. If you Googled his name, he's in the Hall of Fame of getting money from sports gambling. He's like he's like a new school version of Jimmy the Greek, all that, right? Him and Lefty is tight. Word on the street says, right? So what the cats were saying is that Phil was a face for Billy Walters' money. He was just running to the counter for somebody else, because this dude knows he can't get down nowhere because he's an ace. You know what I'm saying? He's more than sharp. You know what I'm saying? He's razor sharp. Whatever's beyond razor sharp. This dude is like the guy, right? So the IRS is investigating this dude, and in the meantime, Lefty's name comes up. Okay, so once Mickelson's name comes up, they start digging into his shit, and they find that, okay, he has burnt in his name 40 million in losses in 4 years. Can either one of y'all conceptually understand spending losing? Not you know what I'm saying? These are not counting the wins where you go, ooh, now I'm only down 10 million, right? You lost 40 M's over 4 years, 10 million per, right? So they find this out, and then that's part of the thing. So now there's no proof, there's no real tie to these dudes, but the speculation is that Mickelson and Lefty Walters, or Mickelson and Billy Walters are ace, and he was facing for his plays at heavyweight casinos.
Now, is this also why is it Lefty's doing the whole Saudi Arabia thing with the golfing thing, whatever? Is that how it's, and I might have this backwards. Is that where he's trying to get people to golf there, and they're kind of giving him money to help pay off some stuff? Is that what's going on? Because he was doing some sort of.
That whole thing fell through in a disastrous way. They wanted him to promote it, and then he comes out and says some kind of nonsense. Well,
that's right. He talks about the lack of human rights.
Like they some savages. Yeah.
Hey, that's right up your alley there, Barcot, teaching those Pasco's finest with that history stuff. So you all know all about that.
So I know I knew about the gambling thing. So I'm trying to think: is that were they trying to, on that situation? Were they trying to entice him to help promote by giving him a check? Give him a check. Gotcha.
See, that's what. But see, that's what I'm saying. That's why this was on the slate for last week, but it just got missed. And it was fresh, and I'm going, damn, anybody that spends now look at this. We know what we pay in taxes, and taxes was fucked up this year. I don't know about y'all two gentlemen, but taxes
don't remind me. I'm about ready to do mine here in a second.
Okay, I'm almost going, where the fuck is Donald Trump at? Okay, you know what I'm saying? Oh, some real shit though. Oh, some real shit. I'm like, where the fuck is Donald Trump at? You know what I'm saying? About my money. You know what I'm saying? Taxes was real messed up this year. Okay, for the record. But anyway, so when you look at a man's,
that's big financial homie that's speaking to you right there.
A man's winnings or earnings, I should say, you know what I'm saying? Because he's the golfer, so I think winnings, but earnings versus betting losses versus household overhead, his wife buying purses and kids doing whatever they need to do, tuitions and all of this. 40 million. I mean, how much money are you in the red? What's going on here, right? So it all looks crazy, you know what I'm saying, to me, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know where it's going to end up at, but I'm like, yo, this reminds me of when those teams, the young dudes back in the day, took the money to throw the games in college, and they was tied in with the mob, and they couldn't get out. They wanted to stop throwing games, and because they wanted to win now. You know what I'm saying? They had a documentary on them. I can't remember what streaming service it was on, but y'all know all this shit. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like that. And he got messed around with a dude who did him. He got him tossed in the sauce too. You know what I'm saying? This dude is over here. That would be like, you know what I'm saying, me going, Slim, why don't you go throw this bet in for me, dog? You know what I'm saying? That's all good.
Right, but I gotta cover it.
But you putting your player's card in. You're putting your player's card in. So all of these losses are registering under your number. And then the IRS come looking for you going, wait a minute, motherfucker, you ain't even earned this much money. So that's where you get all this money to be throwing around like this.
That's a story to be determined, right? How in the...
And just like Barcot said, so then he goes, and then now he's promoting the Saudi Arabian situation, and then he says, "Oh man, I wouldn't work with these dudes. They some scandalous dudes. They over here killing people. Blah blah blah." Wait a minute, he's supposed to be in cahoots with them, promoting this new tour. So I think he got roped into doing the tour, just like my man's just said. He got roped into the tour because he was down. Like, hey, go get us some of our shit back. You got to do this. And he said some shit, and then the Saudis was tripping, and now it's that beef. But he's supposed to be doing this next thing. He's trying to do both. I don't know what the beef is with the two tours. He got this tour.
Well, he's not playing in the
PGA tour.
And
I thought he was. I thought him and Tiger just said they was.
No, he backed out this week. Yep, he backed out this week. Okay. PGA Tour Championship to defend his title. Not going to happen. And the Saudi thing is Saudi was starting to do a new golf championship where they could not rival but compete with the PGA Tour. So he was also kind of in the thing there. But TBD on old Phil, baby. It's going to keep us in the lines, NFL style.
I never thought golf would have some juicy shit like that, but did you hear all the shit that other dudes were saying? Like Justin Scott and all of these dudes was like, hey, if they want to go over there and play, fuck them. Let them go. Tell them to get the hell out of here. Go play with the Saudis, blah, blah, blah. We don't need them. I was like, yo, they doing this in press conference. I was like, I appreciate them not holding their water and talking that madness, because golf needs as much juice as it can get. It needs as much heat as it can get. Somebody needs to cut a WWE promo in golf.
One last thing on that too, which is well, we talked about how Phil bets on the golf course, right? I guess oh man, I wish I had this guy's name. I just looked at it. This is the only thing I got out of all the stuff I researched. There was a guy that was an announcer, and on one of the holes that he announces on, he would look down to Phil's caddy. He would look down to Phil's caddy and say, let's say he had a 15-foot putt, and he would like hold up 3 fingers and say 3, which meant like 3-1 if Phil makes this putt. So the announcer was betting with Phil, against Phil, or against Phil, and they were going back and forth, live action on the golf course during the tournaments. How dope is that?
I love it.
That's like Miguel Cabrera going up to the plate, looking up to the rafters and being like in the announce booth and say, 100-1, you hit a home run, to the announcer, and he nods yes or no.
Why use a Detroit Tiger? Why not just go realistic and use Altuve in the Astros?
Hey, there you go, Altuve.
Guys who were actually cheating.
That
was the code. Yeah, that was the code for it's a curveball coming in.
There you go. That's true. I should have did better speculating on that one.
Done live betting based off how many times the garbage can got hit.
Yeah, there you go. Right into the MLB play. So, all right. Well, let's move on to the little NHL action, bro. Okay, first of all, we not wrap NHL and NBA into the same, but we'll start with NHL.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Game 7s this weekend were fucking fire.
Live.
Hope you guys got to participate in that action and got to watch. We'll talk NHL first and then go into the NBA. But we don't have the Dr. Hockey podcast guys with us, but you should check them out. Dr. Jay Calvert and Dr. Jason Berkeley. They are the hockey podcast, Dr. Hockey podcast. Check them out. But we do have the anonymous big homie, AKA NHL guru, big homie. So the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference is set to the Final Four. And I know homie still has a ticket on his boys there in Florida.
Yeah, staying alive out here. Staying alive.
And since we were just talking about the Phil Mickelson and his gambling, I have to throw out the tweet from Dave Tooley at View from Vegas. Puts out all these tweets all the time. I love this dude. He's awesome. Check out all his stuff on Twitter. But NHL faves are 33-18 straight up in the playoffs. Home teams are 32-19. And the overs in the first round were 31-18-2, 63%, 23-10-2 the last 10 days after an 8-8 start. Homie, did you see this? I know you're an NHL guru, big homie, but the Penguins and Rangers, all 7 games hit the over. Where were we at on that? Even though we're semi-retired. But how many game 7s were there in hockey? There were 2 yesterday and 1 on
Saturday. One on Saturday.
Yeah.
Or no.
What a
I think it was
playoffs, dude.
all 3 of the ones was on Saturday.
Oh,
all
three
three
Saturday,
of them
two.
ones.
Oh yeah, three Saturday, 2 Sunday game sevens in hockey. Yep. So there were 5 in there. There were 2 NBA on Saturday or Sunday. But what are your thoughts on this NHL playoffs? We got Florida, number 1 seed, Tampa Bay, number 3, got Carolina, number 1 seed, the Rangers, number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. We got the Western Conference, Colorado, who are on a firestorm versus St. Louis, the number 3 seed. You got Calgary and Edmonton, number 1 and 2, respectively. The Battle of Canada going on in the Western Conference. Woo! There'll be some hockey time up in Canada, baby. How you imagine being in Canada right now with those 2 teams playing each other?
I'm trying to tell you, man. I think that the hockey is seriously slept on, man. You know what I mean? Even for myself, you know what I'm saying? I've dabbled in hockey throughout, especially it didn't start really until, Wayne Gretzky came to the Kings back in the day. But hockey is seriously slept on in terms of activity, action, you know what I'm saying? And then when it comes to the playoffs and shit being on the line, there's not another sport that has nonstop action like this. I'm talking about like nonstop action, even when there's not even like legitimate, action going on. First of all, I think people sleep on hockey, first of all, or I think Americans sleep on hockey, first of all. I don't know why it's the 4th one of the major 4 sports. You know what I'm saying? Because in some places you go and soccer's like major. Yeah, you go overseas and whatever Europe, soccer's major. All of these sports, a lot of these sports derive from soccer. Okay. So hockey ain't shit but soccer. In a way, right? You gotta score on a goal.
To
right?
Win the
Kind of
game?
like basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like basketball. You know what I'm saying? Baseball is different. Football is also different because there's no net involved, but most of the other sports are all the same. You know what I'm saying? But hockey, you're introducing a whole bunch of other different stuff. You're introducing sticks, men's with boots, with
speed,
swords attached to the bottom on a ice skating rink. Okay, I don't think people really think about this like that. You know what I'm saying? People who live in cold weather, frozen states like Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the Northeast and all of that, they love it because that's just what they do because they don't go outside to play football like that, right? They play hockey, right? Michigan and all this, Detroit, they play hockey. They know what it is. But I think it gets slept on, man. The level of action, that's what I'm saying. Hockey playoff action is probably better than any other playoff action, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I think it's crazy, bro.
Do you think though, because we're in that generation, because I remember growing up in the 90s when the Kings were brand new. Obviously, they've added a ton of new teams in the United States. But for years, it was basically Boston, New York, Chicago, in terms of the United States hockey.
Those cities,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. And so now we've got San Jose, Anaheim, you've got Dallas, whatever. You've got all these, you've got teams in Florida, you've got all these other teams.
And finally Seattle.
Hey.
Right. And that's kind of part of our jaded.
And then obviously Seattle. But my point is, go back and I know Big Homie knows this, but I agree with what he's saying. I think part of it is if you go back and look, I should say most, the amount of expansion. So I would argue the NHL has actually exploded because look name another league that's added as many teams and as many cities in the last 30, 35 years. Yeah. The NHL, it is exploding. And I think in the United States, why it gets slept on is because it's only been 30 years, right? It's only been since 1990 something that a lot of these cities got teams. But
in
you
the
look
United
at those
States,
in the United States. And I agree with you, but you look at those stadiums. I don't remember turning on an NHL game and seeing, 5,000 empty seats. Look what happened in Las Vegas when they got that. That team's been around for 4 years? And they just fired the coach because they failed to make the playoffs for the first time ever. They just fired their coach today. Team's 4 years old. Think about that. Team's 4. So my point is, I agree they're getting slept on, but I think it's because it's so new. But you look at those cities and get it, it's exploding. In those cities, look at Seattle, how crazy it is over there.
The madness up here is ridiculous.
In cities you wouldn't be thinking about, right? Like we talked about the Bostons, the Detroits, the Philadelphias, the Pittsburgh. These, what did they call them? I think they call them the original six or whatever. These cities where hockey jumped off at Toronto and all this shit, right? And we got champions, back-to-back champions out of Tampa Bay, Florida. And I was on them both years. I was on them.
Remember Anaheim? The Anaheim Ducks won it.
The Mighty Ducks, bro.
Yeah, I think they won it right after Disney sold them too. I think Disney missed out on that. I think they sold them and then they won like a year or two later. But you got San Jose. What? They're the. Is that literally? I think that's the only professional sports team they have. Like NFL, Major League Baseball, and basketball aren't going to San Jose. I mean, that was a brilliant move by the NHL. They have no competition there. Well, what else? I mean, I'm not knocking San Jose. It's a great city. I'm saying when it comes to professional sports, what else am I going to do? I got one team to root for. I mean, that's a brilliant move. I think the NHL, while you're right, they're getting slept on in terms of media. But I think the fan base and everything, you look at those games, it is packed. It is nuts. I mean, I think the NHL playoffs is amazing.
Dude, you're dead right, because they took an old school franchise, right, from the Hartford Whalers and moved them to Carolina. I don't even know if it's in North Carolina, South Carolina, but it's Carolina.
The
Hurricanes, right? They're in the Hurricanes, and they to blow the hell up. Okay, and people out there is hype, and this is the footbed of college basketball, and hockey's hype in Carolina in the Bible Belt. Believe that.
You went to attack Tar Heel Blue Devil area, and you got fans. You made money.
I mean, that was my biggest takeaway from the whole hockey weekend, man. Because, like I said, even I, who appreciate hockey, I appreciate all sports. To be honest, I appreciate damn ESPN Ocho cornhole championships. Okay, believe it or not. Okay,
watched dodgeball last night.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Keep it real. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all of this. You know what I'm saying? This is my Real Housewives of whatever city. You know what I'm saying? This is my situation, right? This is my Young and the Restless right here. You know, and when I dig and I really start thinking about hockey, man, I go, damn, they took fucking soccer and flipped that shit into the biggest. I mean, I understand soccer's wild in other countries and it ain't took over big here yet, and I get it. But I gotta say that, man, hockey is super slept on, because basketball, we just go, okay, and then we got a lot of things that we don't like about basketball. You know what I'm saying?
And it's the finals to watch.
It's very similar to hockey in the way that you know what I'm saying, things like that. But I mean, dude, it's 2 overtimes in hockey, bro. I mean, that enough for me to go is great.
I knew homie was gonna. Homie, you talk about it all the time. How the NHL does you talked about it. How NHL does the All-Star game, right? Compared to, you know, obviously NFL is trash, and then MLB and NBA. And then the wild thing is that Calgary played the Penguins last night in a game 7, right? And Calgary had a full-on outdoor party in the first round of the playoffs. First round of the playoffs in a game 7, and there were thousands of people out there watching the game, which is
it's Calgary. What they gonna do? They waiting for the damn rodeo to start. Of course, the only thing they have is the rodeo and the damn Flames, bro. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're gonna drive to Edmonton, which is dope too. Let me get into this real quick. Let me lay it out, because we know what. Because I know we were talking about hockey as a whole and all of that. That's great, but look at these matchups that's going down now. Now we have a Battle of Florida for hockey. You believe this damn shit? And then a Battle of Alberta. What the hell's going on here? Oh, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying, look at this though. You know what I'm saying? So this is about to be super heavy.
You got the East Coast and you got the Middle Coast, right?
Man,
in the other two matchups.
I'm trying to tell you, man, it's live. I mean, I don't know what y'all think about everything, but I'm sticking to the same guns that I've had this entire time. I told you the Avalanche was hot off the jump when the season started, and I told you I did not know that the Panthers was going to be that. But once I saw that they don't lose to people, it don't matter how far down they get. And this is the biggest thing about the Panthers. When I started noticing them, and that's when I put my money down. They had so many third quarter comebacks, and they just did it again. They don't get down to nobody. They score more than everybody. You know what I'm saying? So when they do get down to people, they're still not out of it, is the way that I look at it, right? So you got to take them if they are never down far enough. You know what I'm saying? And now they have to go against, I mean, I don't know rivalries in hockey yet, especially with some of these new squads, right? With, you know what I'm saying, the Florida Panthers. And I've got to imagine that Tampa Bay would be their rival, right? I mean, and effectively that they are the back-to-back champions. You got to beat a man. You got to beat the man to beat a man. So I think that there's some heat behind that. But you know what I'm saying? That's why I roll with Florida, and I think that that's heavy. So Colorado's holding thick. Shout out to the Kings for another good season. I don't know what's going on around here, but here we go. You got Connor McDavid in the mix. You got the big name that you need to go against Calgary. You got, you know what I'm saying, the Blues and the Avalanche, who's number one. The Avalanche should probably smoke these dudes and shouldn't have no problem. You got the young Rangers, which I talked about earlier on in the season too, with Panarin, because back in the day I couldn't remember his damn name. He's the young hot stepper out here getting goals, and he got one last night, making it happen. It wasn't a goal winner, but anyway, they gonna lose to Carolina, and then it's the fire starter, Florida against the defending champions. That's gonna be the one, because Florida don't get beat by people, and then you got Vasilevsky against Bob in the net.
Your boy Bob.
And Bob tightened up after I started talking shit about him. Bob tightened the hell up, and you see how them scores went down 2-1 and all that. Bob tightened up, so they might be ready for something, man. I mean, hockey don't deserve this much time on the show, but I mean, I'm gonna show them some respect, because, hey, look, they need it, man, because it's hype, man. You know how many people I've seen drunk off White Claw during the damn Rangers game versus the damn Penguins the other day? They was hammered off of White Claws up in there. All I saw was White Claws and two double fist and White Claws banging the boards.
That's
how those New York
Madison
sissies
Square
do
Garden
it.
Madison Square Garden was crazy.
I will say this. And the dog came down and opened the door, and I can't leave because we're recording right now. But so the wife's probably going to come downstairs and shut the door and yell at me for being loud. But
I hope she does. That'll be awesome.
I will say this to piggyback what Anonymous said, where with the one thing that it's not the one thing, but one area where hockey does get slept on is every sport, when they lose their superstars, there's a big deal, right? I'm not saying there's a parade and all that stuff, but we know when a superstar's leaving. We know when in the NFL, it was a big deal when Tom Brady wanted to retire. We know it's a big deal when somebody's going to step down in the NBA and Major League Baseball. I don't know that Ovechkin and Sidney Crosby get enough press for the fact that, I mean, they're 36, 37 years old.
With no teeth.
They don't have much time left. And they don't have much time left. I mean, Ovechkin's on a team now that's been bounced in the first round, 3-4 years in a row? Crosby's coming back, so he hasn't even played the postseason. He's coming back. The Pittsburgh says he'll be back here shortly. But these are two guys that they may not be, Mario Lemieux, Jaromir Jagr, and whatnot. But Sidney Crosby has been a huge piece.
He's out
here. In Pittsburgh for over a decade. Ovechkin basically put Washington on the map.
On the map.
And those two guys at 36, 37, and Big Homie, this, they're on their way out. And that's where NHL is slept on, because the superstars, now they're not Wayne Gretzky. They're not Yager or Lemieux, but they're a big friggin' deal. and no one's talking about the fact that they're on their last leg. I'm not saying they're retiring, but no one's talking about how they are coming to an end of their career.
Yeah.
And that's where the NHL gets slept on, is the superstars don't get to press on their way out the door. Unless you basically have to be Wayne Gretzky. You have to be the greatest of the great.
Yeah, the story building. Yeah, they're not
don't,
as good as with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We all know that baseball's the best at that, right? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Sticks, you know
because
what I'm saying?
the
Baseball
numbers,
is the best at stories.
Because the numbers
baseball
matter.
got stories locked. There's nobody do stories better than baseball. Second is, I don't know. What would y'all say was second? Would y'all say football is second? Or would y'all say basketball is better? I think it's the NFL films. I think it might be
getting better. But I agree with you. The old NFL films we all grew up on in the 80s.
Yeah.
That set the tone.
Course.
That's where you get 30 for 30s. That's where you get the Sports Century, ESPN, that stuff right there. And I baseball, even though I think it is above hockey right now, but clearly it's behind the NBA and the NFL.
Yeah, for sure.
But they tell stories better than anybody. I mean, they just do.
Well, don't you think that's because they have so many different categories and numbers that they go off of, and just like not to change this to baseball, but we're still talking hockey. But just like last night when Albert Pujols threw his first inning of pitching, the first time he pitched or whatever, right?
That's clown show stuff, but okay, yeah.
What's that?
But that's clown show stuff. That's the stuff that baseball has always done. You remember
but they're building
Steve Lyons, who played all 9 positions in one game,
right?
The White
so they're
Sox
always
before.
building that. How do you do
funny
that with
stuff like that?
How do you do that with hockey though? And with all the, you can't really. You could talk about a guy's fights. You could talk about a guy's goals. You can talk about a guy's ice time and how he made his team better. But they don't really have a whole lot of accolades that they could throw out there. You talk about a guy who stood on his head like the Ottermeyer guy from Dallas last night, who stopped 62 goals and still got a loss.
Well, I mean, that's cool. But I mean, you got dudes like we going a long time on hockey, but I appreciate this. You got dudes like what's my man who used to be the goalie for the Avalanche that's escaping my brain right now? He was Patrick Roy. Okay.
Wow.
And then you got Hendrik Lundsen as like dominant. You got Grant Fuhr. You know what I'm saying?
Who was the guy with the Senators? Who was the guy with the Senators that was a stud for a long time? He used to that's how the Senators were in the championship every year, because he was stopping. It was like 1 goal a game average.
And then you even got dudes like right now that's playing like Tom Wilson, who just go out there and notorious for knocking somebody's jaw off and being in the penalty box all game.
Sounds like he should be playing. Sounds like he's got a baseball name, not a hockey name.
Him, Brad Marchand, and Wilson plays with the Caps. Okay, and he didn't play in the series because they threw his ass out. Okay, but Brad Marchand's another dude who they've known for being the tough guys who just go out there just to get in a fight with somebody.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Well, that's how they earn their
and to rough it up.
That's how they earn their keep in the league and get that paycheck, baby.
While basketball is getting more and more ticky-tack, I can't even tell what a real foul.
Hey,
they do the replay. They do the replay, and you touch his hand after the ball already released, and they say it's a foul.
Good segue, because let's get to NBA. But real quick, let's close out NHL with
that was professional. Go
ahead. We'll close out NHL with everybody needs to tune into this shit, because NHL is slept on and is gonna be some fun hockey to watch. And I want to close it with this too, because I didn't get to say this earlier. You guys rambling your fucking munchies mouse on, which is okay. I agree. I understand. You know what the thing is about hockey too? You don't have a fucking commercial every fucking 5 minutes for a play stoppage. It just keeps rolling.
I seen the first timeout that I ever seen last night. I ain't never seen a timeout in hockey before until last night. They actually went to the side and drew up a play. That's the first time I've ever watched a damn timeout happen.
And every time I've seen a commercial, quote unquote, for hockey, it's always a split screen, right? Is it never?
See, they don't play that.
It's always a split screen. Action. Fucking do that. Action all the time, right? NHL playoffs, baby. It is awesome. Can't wait for the Kraken to be in there next year. All right, Foolios. You want to talk to Well, since homie segued to NBA about ticky-tack fouls, what about a ticky-tack foul on the on Morant and his knee, who cost him the playoffs, evidently? Cost the Grizzlies in the playoffs because, damn, we spent 30 minutes on hockey, homie.
Gotta keep it real out here for the people.
It's legit. You gotta be excited about it. It's fun,
you
dude.
You get bubbled up, man, and you can't disrespect, you know what I'm saying, what goes on. You gotta let the rhythm take you sometimes. And sometimes some of this shit don't necessarily deserve the breath and energy that we give it. We want to go, okay,
but when we get the energy,
Kurt Busch won the joint in Kansas last week when riding the Jordan car. Yeah, that's cool and all that. But I mean, how much conversation I'm going to have about that? Even though I do have some shit about that if y'all want to get into it. But I don't think it even deserves all of that, to be honest with you, because these NBA playoffs is getting into it. And I got to eat a little crow right now. Because last week I was just talking shit, talking about you can't stop Giannis. And you can't, but he ain't got nobody else to play with him. I don't know if y'all watched the game. It's a basketball coach on the damn show tonight. Okay, so all I'm saying is you can't stop damn Giannis. He just didn't have nobody else to play with him. His guy is gone, and he would have smoked.
So he needs
damn Celtics.
He needs a big three or whatever. He needs to go out there. He's an MVP.
He just needs his squad to be full strength, man. Chris Middleton wasn't there, and if you would have saw the shot selection of Drew Holiday, I would have snatched his ass up out of them games so quick. If I was a damn high school Pop Warner or in them Little League basketball situation, I'd have snatched his ass out. But he's making millions, so you can't.
What about Brook Lopez throwing up threes when they're down by 30? I guess, but is that the guy you want?
I think we got to yield. Look at he's simmering. He's simmering. Look, we got to yield. We got to yield for a second. We got to step back for a second. He's ready.
Barcot's the greatest women's basketball coach in Washington State history, so he knows he's ready to roll. So, let's go. What do you got, Barcot? I know you got some thoughts.
Let's go. And I'm 100% agreeing with Big Homie, and that's the thing.
Me?
I'm never going to agree with you. I'm just messing.
That's a
that's the thing that drives me nuts about the NBA is Brook Lopez has a 4-inch advantage in the post last night.
And then look,
and he went down and he gets hot early. Okay. Boston's not killing him early because Brook Lopez is down there. And Brook Lopez needs to understand if I'm doing this down low, now some people will argue he's creating traffic for Giannis. But the point is, if I'm doing this down low like he was in the first quarter,
so serious,
then I cannot allow. Everybody's got to get out wide. I can't just pack the key for Giannis because now I've got another guy who's killing me. And then dude steps out and wants to jack threes. Why? You were dominating the first quarter inside. You know Giannis needs help because his boy Middleton's out. Why? I agree with Big Home. This is exactly why they said last year that if Milwaukee didn't win, they literally needed to win the title for the coach to keep his job. Because they talked about that throughout the playoffs. He doesn't win a championship, he's done.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
And this is it. And I realized Chris Middleton was gone. But this is what people are talking about. Mm-hmm. Jason Kidd has done a phenomenal job in Dallas.
Man,
he called Luka out in the way to call out a superstar. He did it the right way. He challenged his players without getting in the press Well, he got depressed, but without making it messy. In Milwaukee, what are we doing? Why is Brook Lopez not being snatched up? Why is there a timeout being called and said, bro, you are 4 to 5 inches taller than the biggest post they have. Why are you stepping outside? And I know in today's NBA, and I hate today's NBA, but the kids in today's NBA, he's got to step out and hit the three. This is a 3-point
people don't like today's NBA.
It spreads it out. Well, all you did once you couldn't hit three was you allowed your man to sag off and help out the key. That's all you did. All you did once you stepped outside, your man didn't go out with you, and you just left another defender to occupy the key, forced Giannis to have to go through 2 guys, 3 guys. It drives me nuts. I don't like the way they play the game today. And they don't run offense, by the way. Everything's a high pick and roll. Everything's a high pick and roll. If I can't get to the rim, and Morant, go call Derrick Rose. Because, brother, once you blow out that knee, you better learn how to run an offense. Because all you are is high pick and roll and jam. If it's not, then you kick out for a 3. Go ask Derrick Rose, because once those knees go out, my man, you got to run an offense. That's all I'm saying.
Barcot, I got a question. I got a coach question.
That's the comparison. You ain't never hit that harder on the head, bro. Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, until Derrick Rose's knees went out, that guy was on a trajectory to be all. He was. People think Morant's athletic. Not Derrick Rose was special.
I have a coach's question for Barcot here, since we got the Pasco High School girls finest coach ever, not finest as in sexy, finest as in greatest coach in Washington State right now. How do you allow a Boston team who's on fire, I understand that, shoot, what was it? It was like 24 for 51 in 3-point accuracy.
Shout out to Grant Williams. Who the hell is Grant Williams? Okay.
I was just going to say the same thing. I don't even know who Grant Williams is, where he came from, or never heard the name before. I've heard of, but how do you allow them to get that many 3-point opportunities? Because you just talked about how Giannis, and we were talking about Brook Lopez throwing up shots. I saw in the second half where Giannis was like trying to put everything on himself, like going in there, throwing up shots. Right. He was missing everything. But how on defense, how would that happen to your team if you were coaching? How do you get that many open looks for that many shots for 3-point attempts? You got to shut them down sometime.
Especially when they don't have a big man inside. Now, I know Boston can score in the paint, but they don't have a 7-footer. They don't have a 6'11". They don't have a 6'10" guy. And don't forget, it's not just him. Al Horford 2 games ago.
I was just going to say Al. It's him and Al. They're letting this happen with Grant Williams and Al.
What they're doing is they're spending so much energy on Tatum. They're trying to, I don't want to say build a wall, which is a strategy for Giannis with defenses, but they're spending so much energy on Tatum. And also, there's a couple other things. Chris Middleton is a special player, so that means he's out. You're starting a bench player.
You got to respect that, yeah.
Yeah, and then the other piece is Bobby Portis Jr. You watch him play, and he can be special at times. And it was said on one of the sports talk shows this morning, you watch Bobby Portis play, and when he's doing well, you're like, man, how's this guy coming off the bench? How's this guy been so, why has he been on so many rosters?
Yeah.
And then you watch him last night, and it's like, oh yeah, that's why he's a role player that disappears and has, and Drew Holiday is the guy that you're asking a player who's a defensive minded player to have to run the point. At some point in time, you watched it last night and you said it with Giannis was trying to do too much. Giannis started bringing the ball up. You have your 6'11" post running point because Drew Holiday is doing too much on both ends of the court. They need a Middleton. They need somebody who's more reliable than I love Bobby Portis Jr. That guy can put up numbers, but he's that guy that's going to give you numbers on 3 nights, and then for the next 4 nights, he's going to be. There's a reason Bobby Portis Jr. was on the bench in the first round. People are asking, where's he at? Because he played himself there, and so there comes a point where you got to, hey, this guy's got to get replaced. Middleton's got to be healthy. We got to find another guard that can help take pressure off Drew Holiday because you're asking him to do too much. Drew Holiday's a great player. I love the way he plays the game, but he's not the guy that can play both ends of the court all night long. You got to pick a side. And when you don't have Chris Middleton, now you're asking him to play offense, and that's his secondary piece. And so now you're really struggling. He's not my man Luka. I'll tell you that right now. Luka was special last night.
Well, we can spend some time on that too.
Let's get into that real quick though. How pissed off are you as a coach when your girls give up? I said 24 for 51. I was wrong. It was 22 for 55 from 3-point land, 40% accuracy in 3-pointers for the Boston Celtics. Yes, they couldn't miss. But how pissed off are you as a coach giving up 40% 3-pointers?
So, yeah, I'd be.
I mean, but are you happy that you pushed them to shoot 55 attempts from outside the arc, though? I mean, that's the part B to that. Go ahead.
Not when they're making 22 of them.
I mean, but normally, 40. If somebody's shooting 55 shots, normally, come on, we got to keep it real. Some of these 3-point shots are bad shots, man. You know what I'm saying? And if some of them, like I was talking about last week, when Luka does it, he sets people up, and it's always a good damn shot. Okay, so that's different. So, but 55 3-point shots, the game has changed, man. I mean, shout out to Larry Bird, but I mean, Larry Bird is like garbage compared to PJ Tucker when we're talking about 3-point percentage. You know what I'm saying out here. So everybody is. I know
Barcot has a story about a game where his girls gave up some points. So let me hear the story about what you think, Barcot.
I would have to think about a story, but defensively, the issue I have is everybody in the NBA is an athlete. Defense is not talent. Defense is effort and desire. And when you're giving up 40% from the 3-point line, when they're shooting 55, now 40% is not a fantastic percentage in the NBA. But when they shoot 55 times and shoot 40%, now you're looking at like 65 or 66 to 72 points.
Right. What's the point differential? Yeah.
Now it's like, at what point in time are we not going to slide it? At what point in time are you going to cheat, take that extra step out towards the shooter before he's got the ball? How are we closing out? Do we close out with our hand in his face? Do we go sideline, baseline? You're letting them back into the middle. If you let them back in the middle, now you've got a nice, easy pass. That's why you always want to force them sideline and baseline, because then that skip pass to the opposite 3-point shooter is tougher. But it's just, it comes down to desire and effort. And at the end of the day, I'm not questioning Milwaukee's effort, but I do wonder how tired they were. Because Boston just has again, Horford, Williams, all these guys.
Yeah. Tatum and Brown, bro.
Yeah, Tatum and Brown. But then you had those 2 games where the 2 role players exploded. And so now it's how tired am I? How exhausted am I that my legs won't let me get out there in time? And that's what allows a Horford to get off. That's what allows a Williams to get off, because my legs are burnt from having to cover Tatum up and down the court.
Giannis is grabbing his shorts, like completely exhausted. You know what I mean? Right. You look at the game 6 and 7, completely exhausted because he's out here trying to make everything happen.
Right. And they just had no depth. And and as a coach, I've been there. I mean, even though we took 3rd and state this year, we literally had a starting 5 where everybody averaged about 28 minutes a night in a 32-minute game. And the bench just literally, we only used the bench in foul trouble. There was no situation where we had a bench player that did this, we'll let her go out for 5 minutes. It was literally, we just used the bench. If somebody's got 2 fouls this quarter, go out there. And at the end of the day, it did hurt us, but
Coach had an 8-woman roster. He wasn't fucking around. He's trying to win.
No.
Look at the 8-person rotation.
And at the end of the day, like, I don't know how we were only down 5 points to Sumner with 45 seconds at the state tournament, because they were beating people by 45. And I had the 3rd quarter, I had 3 starters on the bench in foul trouble. So my bench actually had to go play. Somehow we were down 5 with 45 seconds left in the game. But when you don't have depth, it's going to hurt you in the end. And that it killed Milwaukee. With Middleton out, you're already starting your 6th man. So now that means you're 7th. You bump everybody up. And I don't mean we'll stay in the NBA if we need to, but big homie, that's going on with the Dodgers right now. And that's what's happened to the Yankees for 2 years. Once you start getting injuries, you can live for a week or two with your fourth outfielder starting. But once you get to week 3, there's a reason this guy was the fourth outfielder. He's not going to be able to hit 330 for 200 at bats. It's just not going to happen.
And there's no need for you to expect it.
Exactly.
I know you guys want to talk.
I need to know how that game ended with Sumner, though. Did y'all win?
No, that was the one that we were in the Final Four, so we ended up having to beat Eastlake for 3rd place. We lost by 8.
Damn, bro. Local sports activity.
Down 5 with 45 seconds on the ball, call timeout, drop a play. I tell them, and here's where the bench will hurt you. And I love her to death. I'm not going to badmouth a kid. Here's where the bench will hurt you. Drop a play. I had a bench player in.
Look,
if we hit the 3, I'm calling our last timeout because now we'd be down 2 with 40 seconds, whatever. And we got to foul
Pat Riley.
If we miss it, hey, we just got to play true and hope they throw it away. Because at that point in time, you're down 5 with half a minute, whatever.
Yeah,
we missed the shot. We missed the shot, and I watched the freshman bench player literally move a girl out to go grab the girl with the ball, and I'm like, jeez. So she hits 2 free throws. Now we're down 7.
Wow.
20, and I'm like, that's not. Yeah. Literally, that's not what we needed right there. But again, that's we ended up losing by 8. Beat Eastlake the next day for 3rd place. But it is what it is. We'll be back in a couple of years. This year we're going to take a step back. But we got some young ones coming in, but we got a lot of studs coming up the next 2 years. So
let's go. Washington regional sports activity around here. Women's basketball. Let you know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? Straight from the coach. You know what I'm saying? We're not sitting up here having no busters on the show. We talking about people who actually calling plays out here. Look at this.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that's it, man. Hey,
I want to get Barcot fired up.
I think he was sitting up here like he was in a zone. He was in that place. He was back in that spot,
100%.
Pacing the damn sideline right down there. And that's the activity that I be asking from
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
You know what I'm saying? That you want to get from like some of these lesser known sports and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I know this is a pod and we sitting up here chopping it up and all that, but the USFL, they got to do something, right? I mean, we ain't going to talk about them, but that's what they need to do.
They need no credit right now.
They need to have the coach sit up here telling you, this is what I wanted to do, this is what I expected, and this is what happened. And let's talk about it now. But anyway, look, Chris Paul.
Real quick.
Chris Paul or Luka? Which one y'all want to do? Which one y'all want to do?
We just went into the Eastern Conference. We have the Miami versus Boston, 1 versus 2, respectively. So now you guys want to talk about the Western Conference. We got Dallas 4, Golden State 3. Shout out Big Homie. He's been telling y'all from the beginning, do not sleep on the Warriors. Did you not, homie? You told them all.
I told you. The Warriors are the Warriors, man.
Do not sleep on them, and now they're back. You guys want to talk about Luka?
Luka or Chris Paul? Which way y'all want to go? I mean, I don't care. Take it somewhere, and I'll jump in. Go ahead, Luka or Chris Paul.
I want to talk about winning, so we'll talk about Luka.
Let's go.
What is this kid? 23?
Dude, this dude is. What the fuck was you doing when you was 23, bro? That's what I'm saying.
This dude started playing
I'm an underachiever
basketball in Europe at 16 years old.
Pro ball.
As you listen to the people that report this as their living, if people don't understand this, in Europe, they not only are packing the stands, again, 16-year-old kid who, by the way, was on playoff teams in the European. It's not like he was playing for some doo-doo team that was, not making the playoffs. These people, from what I've heard from this morning even and reading up, it's not uncommon in European stadiums for coins to be heated up and flicked at you while you're on the bench.
They play no games. We're pissed off. We love this.
And literally, there's so much stuff going on that there's smoke, a haze in the air from just stuff going off in the stadium.
Cigarettes.
And my point being, it's that rowdy. And he's playing in that almost like it's almost like bandwagoning baseball in the 40s.
Yeah.
And he's playing in that every day. Imagine you're 16 and you're playing against grown men and people are chucking stuff at you. You're trying to run up and down the court and be an athlete and inhaling all the stuff that's going. Do you really think he's going to come to the NBA and be intimidated? I mean, nope. At 23 years old, this man is now officially the scoring leader in playoff basketball. He's averaging almost 40 points in elimination games.
Talk about it.
This man was openly laughing in Booker's face at the free throw line last night. This dude, there was times last night where he was picking on guys for his shot. Like he knew, because Phoenix was switching so much on defense, he knew when I want the ball back coming off the screen, this guy's going to switch. I'm trying to, manipulate the defense so I get this guy. Once he's on me, give me the ball. That little spin move he did where he laid it up with his right hand from the left side, he picked on that guy. The guy last night that he knocked down, step back three, banged it from the top. He's picking on. He was so hot last night. And he was literally just, I want him. We're going to skip the ball around, come off screens until they switch it, and I got him. And I'm going to show him up. Next time down, I'm showing him up. And then this is a point guard who's so big, he's defending Aiden, the post, the center on defense. He's down there. He is your point guard, and he goes defends the five. And then you watch everybody they threw CP3 at him. They threw Booker at him. They threw 8 at him. At one point in time, he banged the 3. I said, the center trying to come out on him. When Luka gets in that zone, he's unstoppable. Now, does he have to improve his shot overall for longevity? Yeah, because there's games where I think he's a 35% three-point shooter. So overall,
shot selection. He got shot selection. Yeah, for sure.
My God, that man can get his shot off against anybody. He's 6'9" as a point guard. You try to play him one-on-one in the key? No, he's special. Luka Doncic is going to be one of the greats when he's done. And it was awesome to see Dirk watching that last night from Phoenix. And I know people have said it, that Dallas team that beat Miami, people forget it was a foreign-born player, Dirk, playing with an aging guy, Jason Kidd, and a bunch of role players. And that's exactly where Luka Doncic is right now. He's a foreign-born player playing with a couple of aging guys and a bunch of role players. It's the same team. And it's just, he's special, man. He's special. He really is. I'm not saying he's the greatest of all time. I'm not trying to pimp that. But you look at his game, he's 23.
That's a trip, ain't it? That's a trip, right?
This cat has 12 more years of this. You're Mark Cuban.
Dominating.
I've got a 6'9" point guard that no one has an answer for the next decade plus.
Nobody's done people like this since Magic, though, because Magic came in winning off top, like from rookie season and moving forward. But Luka hasn't done that quite yet. But he put everybody on notice. I'm talking about literally everybody on notice. I don't give a damn who you are, and we're gonna see in this next series. You know what I'm saying? But Slim, you got something to say, Slim? Because I got some stuff after this. If or you want me to go right now or not, I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you right now, as much as and I don't mean to cut you off, Jason, before you get going. As much as I love Luka, Golden State's a with the Final Four teams we have. Golden State's a matchup nightmare.
Monster.
They are a matchup. Now, I would not be shocked, even if it's Boston, to see Golden State. They're a matchup nightmare.
Well, they're the favorites right now to win the finals. They're like plus 125, so they're the best favorite right now in the finals. So I just had one thing to say, and as I've spoken before, I don't follow the NBA throughout the year a lot. I attempt to watch some here and there, but I'll watch it in the playoffs. I'll watch now, like I just talked about this weekend, Game 7s. We talked about the 5 hockey Game 7s. We talked in these 2 Game 7s yesterday in the NBA. But you're talking about Doncic and his role players. You got Brunson, Powell, Bullock, something Smith, and then Spencer Dinwiddie Spencer Dinwiddie is the only name that I recall off of this. And I didn't watch the game last night. I was watching the hockey Game 7s. So
Maxi Cleveland.
But you're right. Role players 100%. And we just talked about Giannis and his role players not performing, but Luka and his role players, and like you said with Jason Kidd earlier too, Barcot, fired up the team. The right coaching does the right things. Speaking from experience, right, Barcot? You know what it's like.
I've had to do that a few times. I've had to subtweet people a few times verbally.
It's been 4 years since the 2018 draft, and I want to say that for a reason, because first I want to call out, you know what I'm saying, is Chris Paul a curse, right? Because he done been on squads who done had teams down 3-1, who done had teams down 2-0 continuously, and don't get it done. Now, that don't count the times that he did get it done, but they're less than the times that he did. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's more than the times that he actually did. This dude lost 5 series where you're the guy. You're Chris Paul, right?
Point guard, remember? They called him point guard.
Yeah, point guard. You done had a team down 2-0 and then lost. Remember the Lob City Clippers with Donald Sterling and Blake Griffin jumping over cars and shit, and Donald Sterling like a damn racist. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? All that. You know what I'm saying? The protests and all that. Them dudes was fired. They were supposed to take over LA for a minute. I wasn't having it. I had zero belief, right? And you saw what happened there. They let the Houston Rockets come back from 3-1, and in the damn Game 6, the closeout, they had them down by 20 and still lost, and they end up losing that series. So I don't know if it's a Chris Paul thing or whatever, but anyway, let's go back to 2018. 2018, on June 21st, it was some pretty significant activity on that particular day because it was the NBA draft. Okay. Guess who has the number 1 pick overall?
He's going to name off the teams that passed on Luka.
This is the number one pick. No. Here we go. No, this is the best one though. Number one.
You said goodest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you had to get some ebonics.
And by the way, and I don't mean to cut you off, and I'm not going to end the surprise for you, but there's a reason Dallas got Luka 4 years ago, because they were so bad that they were in the lottery. So go ahead. My point being, Luka has taken in 4 years, at 19 years old, a lottery top 5, top 6 team that was one of the worst 5 teams in the league to the finals or conference finals. So go ahead. Let's go.
First of all, never apologize for cutting his dumb ass off. We're okay with that.
So it's a month from roughly now. Okay, roughly now, 4 years back. 4 years back. You okay?
Right.
4 years back, we waiting for the NBA draft. You know what I'm saying? We know who's gonna go first. It's the Phoenix Suns. What do you know about that?
Oh,
what
shit.
the hell do you know about that? Shit. And guess who they purposely had on their staff at that time?
Mm-hmm.
Little known, slept on head coach of the fucking Slovenian national team.
Who
is
probably told them.
clearly acquainted with Luka Doncic. Okay, clearly he knows what it is. This dude who's 16, 17, I don't know what the hell age he is at that time. Okay. They go ahead and choose, because they're in Phoenix, a dude who is the center of a squad who was okay, but happened to be around the corner at University of Arizona, DeAndre Ayton.
Not a bad pick. 2018?
Yep, not a bad pick. I mean, nobody would hate on that, except for the Dallas Mavericks traded up to move to number 3 because they knew what time it was to select Luka Doncic. Now, you trying to tell me 4 years ago?
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details. With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Fast forward, Back to the Future. You trying to tell me the Suns ain't right now going, we had Luka Doncic number 1 overall? No, number overall, and he bent us over, put our head in the pillow, didn't let us breathe at all, and was just
By the way, don't forget, Luka only being 4 years in, still hasn't got the max contract.
Stupid.
Meaning Dallas doesn't have to pay him yet. So not only did you pass him up for a guy that couldn't stop him last night,
didn't even play no time. He didn't even get no time really.
But you're paying Chris Paul way more than Luka Doncic is getting paid by Dallas to check out on you for 5 straight games. Here's another thing I'll throw out you too. And I thought about this because you brought up the irony that Phoenix had a chance to get Luka.
Number 1 overall. Number 1 overall, by the way. I mean, I was just throwing that out.
Here's how badly Brooklyn scared Milwaukee. The last game of the season, Milwaukee's the 2 seed. Miami's already sewn up the 1. Milwaukee's the 2 seed. Boston's the 3. 1 game to play. Milwaukee chooses to sit Giannis and their starters because they don't want the 2 seed and have to risk playing Brooklyn as the 7 seed. Milwaukee lost the game. And they knew full well going in, if we lose this game and Boston wins, we drop to the 3, Boston gets the 2. Which at that moment, when they made that decision to not play their starters, they knew we want to lose this game to avoid Brooklyn. But if Boston beats Brooklyn for us, we'll have to play game 7 at Boston. If there is a game 7, guess what? That choice to avoid Brooklyn cost you game 7 in Boston.
Yeah, these are the choices you make, okay? And I don't care.
Insider information.
Yo, shout out. Look, hey, shout out to everybody on this show who be coming with that shit. Because look, dude, we just picked up 2 things right now. We just picked them up off the floor. Things that just rock this playoff series that happened a couple weeks back. It happened 4 damn years ago. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was highly upset for a minute. Or I know that the Trae Young camp, because he was like, oh yeah, Atlanta or Dallas traded their number 3 so they could move up to get Luka Doncic. So then I ended up going number 5 because that's where they swapped at, right? So they had their first little season they had together, they was going at each other. Okay, how's that working out now for Atlanta versus Detroit? Or I'm sorry, or Dallas. I'm sorry, or Dallas.
Trae Young, who led the NBA in turnovers.
Yeah, when we're talking about a 40-point smoke show, it didn't end up being 40 points, but I'm telling you, in a game 7, and
it was the visitors that were smoking
on the road.
So it's what Coach Edwards said, right? You play to win the game.
Hey.
Why would you play to avoid somebody? You know what? You deserve to get bit in the ass later on.
Straight up.
If you play to avoid,
doesn't that go back to all the fucking, what do they call the time off that they spend, like rest day or whatever? Like what the hell's the term, the NBA term?
Oh shit! Why the fuck am I tripping off
we
of that?
talked about this before,
we just Kawhi Leonard coined it. I know what you're talking.
Yeah, it's damn. Oh my god!
And you don't want to play.
And by the way, that has hurt the NBA. And
100%.
I don't even need to go back to MJ. I don't need to go back to MJ.
No.
Kobe.
Yep.
Kobe would have slapped the shit out of LeBron James for taking days off.
We just talked about this last week. I'm telling you. Yep.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit. I don't even know where Kawhi Leonard is after he won that title for the Raptors.
By the way, where's Kawhi Leonard been for the last? What was he been the last 18 months? Because he barely played last year, and I know he's
spending money
out in the playoffs.
Spending Clippers money.
And by the way, and Kyrie drives me nuts. And if I'm Brooklyn, I don't want to. I want him to opt out, so I don't have to pay him. But Kawhi Leonard doesn't get enough smoke. He should get
load management.
Kawhi Leonard should get the same smoke Kyrie gets for being a terrible teammate. And look what he's done. Remember when they lost? Remember when they lost the playoffs to Denver in the COVID, the bubble? That was 3 years ago. And Paul George's famous statement, man, we didn't have any pressure to win this year. There's always next year. Hey, motherfucker, it's 3 years later. You still ain't won.
Yeah, now what? He out here managing loads. You know what I'm saying? He's out here managing loads in the middle of a circle jerk.
Dude.
Load management.
And I know you already said it, and I know you guys already agreed. We don't need to go back to God forbid we go back to the MJ days and you try to tell MJ to load manage. Kobe Bryant, this is what kids today, when I have to hear about KD this, LeBron that.
I got another name for you.
Dominate this league. And I think Kobe Bryant's number 2 in my name, or in my book. MJ is number 1, but Kobe would kill this.
Yeah. I got another name. I got another name for you. What about Grant Hill, who kept coming out after all these injuries? Kept coming out. He was the guy who was taking over the Jordan crown, if y'all remember correct.
Before the injuries,
coming out and keep playing through these injuries, and that was it for him. You know what I'm saying? So I got to give all respect due to the old school and the people who have our level-headed mentality of ways to go about things. You know what I'm saying? Look, you go hard and you reap the benefits later. You know what I'm saying?
You play hard, you go hard.
Trying to collect the check and go hard when it's convenient.
100%. You hit it on the nose. And Barcot said this earlier about how he doesn't like, nobody likes the current day NBA. 100% is what Barcot said. And you just hit it on the nose, homie. They want to go hard when it's convenient for them. That's why they have this load management bullshit. And we've talked about this before too, how these athletes can do load management. And think about the families and the kids and the parents and the fans who want to go to the crypto.com arena and watch LeBron play.
$800 for tickets and food and parking and all that for a family. I'm not talking about two
for
people.
A family, yeah. And then now LeBron's not going to play, but all little Joey and all little homie and all little Barcot wanted to do was go watch fucking LeBron play, and then now he's on load management, and you don't know that till game time or an hour or two, whatever.
I done already bought the tickets because I'm trying to see LeBron come to my town for the one time a year.
That's bullshit.
You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, it's dudes out here going hard in the streets, you know what I'm saying, playing NHL. Duncan Keith ain't got no fronts. You know what I'm saying? Playing every day. He ain't got no fronts. He smile at his woman, and she just puts her fingers through his mouth like this.
At the same time, I like to get a little kinky right there. But at the same time, let's talk about the NFL too. And I don't mean let's talk about it, but I'm just saying in terms of load management. You try going in and tell an NFL owner, I got load management. Here, you ain't got a guaranteed contract, brother. I'll just release you. Unless you got like a $40 million cap hit, you better get your ass out there. Period. The NFL cats, like, people forget Richard Sherman got popped doing Adderall and everything else. How many of these cats get popped? Hey, let's just admit, probably 100% across the board in the NBA. These guys are doing things that are going to fail a drug test. But it's because they got to get out there. They know they have to. The one thing I hate about the NBA is it's guaranteed. Kyrie Irving can do the things Kyrie Irving does in terms of I don't want to go to work because he knows that I'm so talented that somebody's giving me $200 million and it's guaranteed. Kyrie literally did not go to work for 2 weeks and didn't call the Nets.
It says no, I don't know why. Nobody didn't pick up the phone.
Literally.
How the fuck does that even happen?
The coach and the GM were asked, "Hey, where's Kyrie?" I don't know.
When you pull a fucking Michael Jordan and Phil Jackson and be like, "Hey, you motherfuckers need to go find Dennis Rodman in Vegas right now and find out where he's at. Pull his ass back here and go back there." How does Kyrie get away?
Dennis Rodman,
just
though.
stupid.
He's not doing a Dennis. When you're
paying him that much money to do that bullshit, hey, I guarantee you. When people work for us, homie, and Barcot, when people work for us and we're going to be like, oh, hey, we're going to do a show today. I'm paying you this much money. We're going to go be like, all right, where the fuck are you at? Like, why are you not here?
Immediately, because my trigger is real quick. Okay. And first of all, your ass is cut and all that. Okay. I don't play those games if you don't fit with. Because what I'm trying to build here, I'm not a coach, but I've been a supervisor before, whose job was to produce at a certain level. Exactly. So that's the way that I looked at it, because my job was to inspire people to produce at a certain level that was higher than what the man expected. You know what I'm saying? The man expect one thing. I expect championships. You know what I'm saying? How do you do that? How do you go about doing that? What happens when you don't have when you do have somebody who is not fitting in with the protocol and standards of what you expect to go on? You get them the hell out of there quick, fast, and like my mom used to say, and in a hurry. Okay. So what you do is you got to alleviate yourself from that. You can't have those personalities there. I don't care what. And remember what I said last week. You look at the teams that are involved, that are moving forward. They were built. Somebody looked at all of these teams and said, I am building with these personalities. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't, KD come over here. They wasn't LeBron come over here. They wasn't James Harden come over here. You know what I'm saying? These were all teams built from the ground floor. Yeah, you added Spencer Dinwiddie. Who gives a damn about that? That's just a supplementary guy. Okay. Yeah, you might have added Andrew Wiggins, but that's a supplementary guy. We're the Warriors over here. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so yeah, you might have added, you know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know in the case of Miami, because they brought in Jimmy Butler, and they went to the bubble championship immediately with a bunch of dudes nobody knew about versus the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that's one of those moves, but anyway, we'll leave that out there. But the Celtics, you built from the ground floor, down floor.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
That's it. It's amazing how that works. No shenanigans.
I'll piggyback that. You look at the teams that are in the Final Four right now. Miami. They signed Jimmy Butler. But Jimmy fit the mentality. Jimmy fit Pat Riley mentality, Eric Spoelstra mentality, who, by the way, very quietly, remember when they hired him, when LeBron came to Miami and everybody, who's this? That dude's going to be a Hall of Fame coach.
And he's still there.
Mm-hmm.
And still there. They brought in Jimmy Butler, but they drafted everybody else. Okay? Then you go to Dallas. They're built around Luka, who they drafted. Spencer Dinwiddie they got from Washington after a trade from Brooklyn, what have you, whatever. But they've got pieces. They haven't gone out and blown money. Then you look
they got rid of Kristaps Porzingis, matter of fact, that they did blow money on.
Yes, they did. In a trade, not a free agent signing. They traded. Remember that? They traded because the Knicks were going to – they traded him.
Right.
But you're right. It was money, but they didn't sign him. They traded him. Then you got Golden State.
Too.
Yes, they did. And then Golden State, who we all know did just like Dallas, just like Miami, draft and then sign pieces here and there. But we're not outside of KD. We're not signing major pieces other than that one. You know, and then it goes on and on all the way through. You know, it's the teams like Brooklyn, and this is what I hate about the NBA. Brooklyn. If you look back 3 years ago, pre-COVID, Brooklyn made the playoffs with Spencer Dinwiddie at their point guard and a bunch of nobodies.
Sure did.
And you can even find YouTube videos now of how much that team bought in. The bench was doing some NCAA bench stuff where they would dance and do different shit on threes and great plays.
That's right.
They were doing all that shit. And that was the year before Kawhi signed. That was the year Kawhi was in Toronto and they won championship. And remember, the Clippers were doing so well. The Clippers in Brooklyn came out of nowhere and did so well. Everybody was so excited about those teams. Look where they're at now.
Mm-hmm.
Brooklyn didn't even recruit KD and Kyrie. They literally, those two, this is what I hate about the NBA free agents. Because Brooklyn had done everything right, just like Golden State, just like Miami. They had built a playoff team, and they were like 45 and 37 and went to the playoffs. And then they made the mistake. They had no big contracts, so they had multiple max contracts to
They wasn't trying to let KD go to the Knicks. That's what it was. Or
that's what it
Kyrie
was.
Go to the Knicks.
They didn't want one of those guys going to
That's
the
what
Knicks
it was.
They knew they were building something special. And then what happened? They fell in love, like you just said. All of a sudden they became, we got to compete with this team. They made that mistake of they got out of the game plan. You trust the process. You built the team. Golden State never fell in love with, we can't let so-and-so get this player. They just went out and drafted and played hard. You know, Dallas has done the same thing. We can't let San Antonio so-and-so get this player. No, we just draft Luka and get – Miami never fell in love with, we can't look – no, we'll draft and we'll sign –
I'm trying to tell you.
And then what did Brooklyn do? They fucked themselves. They had a great plan, and this is what I hate about the NBA. They didn't even have to recruit. KD and Kyrie just literally – they called – the GM even admitted on the day they signed. He's like, they called me, said they're coming. And obviously, as a GM, if two of the best players in the league call and say, hey, I'm coming to your team, you're not going to say, you're like Jason, as much as we love the Mariners, hey, if Mike Trout calls during free agency and says, hey, DePoto, I'm signing. Don't worry about it. I'm coming. Is Jason going to be like, screw Mike Trout, forget this? He's going to be like, oh, my God, we got Mike Trout.
100%.
Same thing Brooklyn did. Same thing. And guess what happened?
I've said multiple times over. Like I said, if I could have the Lakers team that I had before LeBron got there with Julius Randle, Jordan Clarkson, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, all of these dudes who started to develop now for somewhere else, I would be excited even if I was barely making the playoffs because those are my guys. I'm not about this shit like that.
And not only that, name a dude with the Pelicans outside of BI. Name a dude on the Pelicans outside of BI. Because
we know Zion's not playing, so that doesn't even count.
No. Zion didn't play. Zion played 0 games.
And you can't count CJ McCollum because he got traded there.
He got traded there. So my point is, I'm piggybacking. BI, the way he developed, when they signed LeBron, BI did not play well with LeBron. They just their games and by the way, here's the funny part. I realized the Lakers had a shot at Buddy Hield and LeBron poo-pooed that.
I don't even want to talk about that, but go ahead.
But
I was gonna say,
as much as his name is bemoaned in LA, what were the Lakers missing this year? 3-point shooting. What did they trade for Westbrook? Their most consistent 3-point shooter. And I realized Kyle Kuzma was hated in LA. But is there a better 3-point shooter on the Lakers?
My guy Kyle Kuzma, forgot about him too.
Is there a better 3-point shooter right now in LA than Kuzma?
Look, man,
that's what they need.
Look at what eventually happened.
I'm gonna end it on this though. On NBA. We give NBA.
I'm about to end it on this though. But we're gonna move on after this statement right here. The closest Chris Paul ever got to the NBA championship is the trade that David Stern said, hell no, you ain't going there. You better go get Pau Gasol. And look what we did 2 championships later, and Chris Paul ain't see shit. Let's move on.
If ever you want to see more corrupt league.
NBA on to the next. That was more than the 60-second. I don't know if I like I think I like NBA. I think I like the Nas Big Homies NBA in 60 seconds a little bit better.
Not during the playoffs. No,
not during the playoffs. But you're right. We got the coach Barcot on here, so you can't you gets fired up. He loves the basketball. It brings him into his element. I love the tenacity and the bravado that Barcot brings in. So
shit, there goes Jason with SAT words.
Yeah, I'm trying to, I need a thesaurus up here. So let's get some fucking MLB action. All right, you motherfuckers. We've been sitting here. I don't know.
This might be the 60 seconds right here, but go ahead.
I know, because I just have to look at you.
No. It won't be 60 seconds. Because even though I realize there's 130 games to go, I'm going to enjoy.
Look at the heavy glow.
33 games.
100%.
I'm not an idiot. I realize we got 4 more months. I know, but I'm going to enjoy months. I'm going to enjoy the first 6 weeks.
The glow is real right now.
I don't even know how I can look at both of you motherfuckers right now.
The gloating is real right now.
It's gonna be brutal. But like I said before, June, July, August, September, same thing that happened last year when the Mariners started playing good. We're going to get there. But before we get into that, we have to talk about this tweet from Dave Tooley. For you sports betting aficionados out there, MLB faves lead 306 to 200 straight up, 60% on the season with 11 games closing the pick'em. Home teams dipped.
That's interesting.
Home teams dipped to 200. Let's see. Home teams dipped to 264 and 253. Unders lead 264 to 228, 53%, down from 60% just 20 days ago. So the overs were hitting, and now the unders are coming back up.
So bet the favorite is what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, basically that's really what it is. You want to lay the juice on minus 160 and 170 and 200 to get a little cash, then I guess that's the way to go. But anyways, There were a couple no-hitters this week, though, in the last
couple.
Since we talked last. There were a couple. 2 no-hitters.
Did I miss one?
There?
There were yeah. Okay, my bad.
There were 2 no-hitters. So we had
I forgot the one where the dude actually lost. Said I forgot about the one where the dude actually lost.
The Mets, and here's the funny part. Both teams that threw the no-hitter lost. Because the Mets threw a no-hitter in 9 innings and then lost with the 10th inning thing. And then obviously Cincinnati threw a no-hitter and lost 1-0.
Oh, there was 3?
So there was 3 then.
I forgot about the Mets one.
The Mets had a combined no-hitter through 9.
Oh, McGill. McGill started that one.
Yep, and then they lost in the extra innings. So I realize it's not an official no-hitter, but they threw a no-hitter for 9 innings, but their offense just couldn't put nothing on the board.
Well, the official no-hitter was Reed Detmers from the Anaheim Angels, where no-hit the Rays.
2 strikeouts. I
did see
that. The fewest strikeouts. That's the fewest strikeouts in a no-hitter ever. 25 outs
in life.
And by the way, I think he only had 1 walk. He was 1 pitch away.
That's right. One pitch
away. I don't think they had an error. So if he had just, instead of ball 4, just got a pop-up, which of course, in that moment, he has no clue because that walk probably came in the 5th inning or whatever.
Yeah, no, that was solid. So shout out to that.
That's not what you talk about though. I mean, it's a no-hitter, but I mean the Angels started clowning him. Yeah. Rendon said, "I'm gonna bat lefty on y'all." I've never batted lefty in Major League Baseball ever. And he hit a home run in the no-hit game. Come on, dog.
Well,
that's why I'm Angels down right now because it's absolutely stupid. They're over here playing around like the Warriors with people. Like, oh yeah, they bust out the cowboy hat in the dugout and shit. And Mike Trout got his groove back and shit. He got Shohei, and Rendon is out here batting from left side for no apparent reason. Oh my God. You got dudes who you didn't even expect to throw a no-no doing it. Man,
Dude,
I'm telling you, you better watch out for them damn Angels, bro. I tried to tell you. You sit up here.
He pitched like 20 innings in the minor leagues. He was signed 2 years ago and gets called up.
That's what you do.
You're throws a no-hitter this year or whatever. Before we get into Anaheim, because I want to talk a little bit about the your other LA team, homie, the Angels. But we talk about the Reds no-hitter. My guy, Hunter Green, who I sat him on the bench in fantasy baseball, which we're not going to talk about fantasy baseball because fantasy baseball is stupid. I don't know whose idea it was to fucking to do a fantasy baseball league.
I'm about to fuck that dude up. Whoever told us to do this shit.
He throws 7 1/3 no-hit innings, had like 9 strikeouts. They close it out, and the Pirates first team to lose, or the Reds lose that game because of a bases loaded fielder's choice, because there was an error and a walk or something like that they got the base loaded. But anyways, Hunter Green's my guy. Called him out. Homie, you referenced this too before a couple weeks ago.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry. We were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
About Hunter Green. So he's a good guy.
Was a kid.
He
was a prospect. Yeah, he was a prospect that I had heard about that through flame.
Yeah,
and I was looking to get him
it.
during the draft, and it didn't work out in my favor. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
And
my
the Reds were
strategy of picking every kid that had a junior behind his name didn't work out.
Junior,
so I went a different way.
Yeah, and I actually have a question for Barcot, because he texted me on this earlier about fantasy baseball the other day, and I want to bring this up, as I don't want to talk about fantasy baseball. No, not that. Your team. But before we get there, so the Reds were the first team to lose without allowing a hit since the Angels in 2008 versus the Dodgers.
They're the sixth team to do it all time.
Yeah, there was only like 5 or 6. 6, is that what he said? 6?
6 all time.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, real quick about fantasy baseball. I don't know about you guys, but my team is terrible. So, Barcot, what'd you reference me? Who do you have for your hitters? And homie, by the way,
I ain't telling y'all shit, okay?
Yeah, first of all, by the way, homie, you're welcome for Cortez, who I picked up and then dropped after a week, and you picked him up. That's kind of dirty shit, motherfucker.
Shout out to Nestor Cortez. You know what I'm saying? Holla at me when you see
By the way,
there's some Federal Way streets.
There's some breaking news on Nestor Cortez today.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Dope.
Not an injury, but the cancer culture. Nestor Cortez deactivated Twitter because they found that Nestor Cortez, who by the way is a former Mariner, was 10 years ago on Twitter posting rap quotes. And by the way, that's not Nestor's defense. That's not Nestor's defense. That's even the media. The media even said it appears he was posting rap quotes. That's not, Nestor did not come out and say, oh, they're rap quotes. No, the media said, oh, these look like rap quotes. But a whole bunch of people retweeted his tweets from 10 years ago that had racial slurs in it. And when you read through them, they are rap music. And I will tell you, and I will never in my life agree to use racial slurs. And I'll just put this out there right now. My wife is black, and she's even told me, I hear you say racial slur, I'll slap the shit out of you. And you don't have to warn me about that. I already
watch out for black females.
That's just
watch your damn back. Something flying at you. Hey.
I've had several things thrown at me, including some things that, could have sent me to the hospital, had to hit me. But
it's all love.
It is. I'm not complaining. I know I put myself there. Yeah. But here's my thing. I would never condone using a racial slur. But I also understand in today's world, and this is why I hate cancel culture.
Yeah.
Kids that are not of that race. I've sat for 25 years and listened to kids in a conversation where there's not an African American in the conversation and a certain word gets dropped, and not they're calling each other that, which that's not your word, bro.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go.
And so that word my opinion, should never be used. But I also understand there's one community that can use it, and I can't argue that, right? I can't. One community can use that word. I sure shit can't. I never would. You can't be stupid enough to not be black and post rap lyrics and not delete the word. You can't.
I don't know. I'm old school. I'm old school.
Where you got it from?
Now, wait a minute. I will admit this. He was like 17, 18. He was 17, 18 when he posted tweet. So I understand you're a fucking idiot. But now listen, we just talk about being in our 40s. Jason and I can't put that shit out there at 40, even if I can't quote Ice Cube without knocking some words out at 48 years old. I can't defend that. I can't defend that. That's just ignorant. At 17, and again, Twitter people forget Twitter was pretty brand new in 2012. And it was still pretty brand new. It was 3 or 4 years old. It wasn't brand new, but it was 3 or 4. It wasn't Facebook or MySpace by any means.
No.
And high school kids were still figuring dumb shit out. I can't stand the cancel culture. Like, this dude felt the need to cancel Twitter because he posted rap lyrics. I can't stand that shit. Now, granted, be smarter with what you do, but at 17, did Nestor Cortez think he was going to be pitching for the fucking New York Yankees? No.
He wasn't dreaming big enough.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm all on Dave Chappelle's side with this shit, man. It's out of control. Let's understand you're bagging it. We all know we've grown. We all know we're different. You're bagging a guy at 28 for shit he did at 17. Really? What kind of shit would we have been in? Ask our bosses. Had Twitter been around when we were all 17? Dude, I'm a school teacher. Do I want people knowing what I would have said on Twitter if it was around when I was 17 and 19?
Absolutely not.
Hell no.
Hell yeah. It was biblical back then. Yes, scripture.
It was not biblical.
The three of us can admit, we're proud that we were pre-internet because of the shit people would have known about. You know what I'm saying? So the cancel culture's killing me. I mean, he's posting rap lyrics.
Did he have? I mean, did they suspend him or anything like that?
No, he's not suspended.
Or are they looking into it? Or he just deleted his Twitter?
Even the media has said it's not his. He even apologized, but even the media, it's not his voice. Even the media is like, this is rap lyrics. But that's what I'm saying. I said there was a news about him today. It's on ESPN now. That's what I'm saying. Cancel culture's gone too far. Like, really? If a 50-year-old fucking news article writer can look at it and go, yeah, that's some Ice Cube shit, then why is this a story? You know what I'm saying? Why is that a story? He shouldn't have done it, but he was 17 when he did it. It's not like he did it last night.
Well, we've already seen that in the NFL. We've already seen it in MLB before where, they look at this now that these kids are so young and coming up. You mean Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. Who else was there? Kyle Larson. Yep, 100%.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you what happens is, and I'm not the dude that does it, right? I'm not the dude who's at the door of the club handing out passes, okay? But I guarantee you, and I know for a fact that this is a thing. You know what I'm saying? This is a thing. You know what I'm saying? The Latin homies, you know what I'm saying, the Spanish homies, 100%, you know what I'm saying, be sitting up here talking exactly like we talk when I was in high school. Word to God. Okay. And now I'm not saying that you fast forward to 2022 that he shouldn't get canceled. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what the fuck gets canceled in 2022. You know what I'm saying? Because I be holding my tongue half the time because I don't know what the hell would get canceled in 2022. Okay.
You don't hold your damn tongue, bro.
I try not to. But what really goes down is, I swear, anybody who was in a cultural situation with us at that time is like, hey, you're the homie, the Puerto Rican homie, the Mexican homie, you know what I'm saying? All of this, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? It's not malicious. It's not malicious. We're not talking about, you know what I'm saying, derogatory speak with a pointed finger. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows what that is. But when it's just part of your vernacular, you know what I'm saying, because you live in a certain neighborhood and things like that, like I told Slim, you know what I'm saying, in spots before, I can't say that people ain't got passes, you know what I'm saying, because it's just I know this dude, he lived around the corner from me.
You talking about, what was his name, White Bread or some shit like that?
The homie White Bread, I swear to God, on everything I love, he's blacker than I am. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I remember that. I remember we had that conversation.
And that's on every, and that's just an example. But I'm just saying that don't transcend every situation. You know what I'm saying? So to make a long story short, you know what I'm saying, I don't agree with the cancel culture situation neither. You know what I'm saying? I think that everybody should behave as they would with a level of respect for the next man who is standing next to you. It should be as simple as put.
I think you said it best, homie.
If you feel like something is gonna be out of bounds, you need to check yourself. I'm talking about even talking to a woman, you talking to a child, you talking about to somebody of a different culture, any of that. Right. To have a level of respect transcends, you know what I'm saying, all of that. You know what I'm saying? You don't sit up here and just be like, oh yeah, whatever the stereotype is, and with somebody here in their face. That's stupid.
Yo, I'm telling you, like Barcot can reference this too, because it's weird. Jeez, homie, you went in a whole new. We're talking about MLB, but we went on a whole nother rant about cancel culture. All good.
This is what we do.
And this is how it rolls.
I apologize.
No, AB, don't even. If you even sit up here and no, AB, don't even for 1 second. You gave me something that I need to work with.
Yep.
This is it.
100% legit.
This is it.
I love it.
This is it. Sports is a microcosm for the world, bro. For the world, G. And I'm telling you right damn now that, I mean, we're just talking. We're a bunch of dudes. And we're hoping that somebody would hear something intelligent from 3 dudes sitting up here having a conversation, which is beautiful. And that's love. That's love.
Which is legit.
Ain't nobody said nothing negative towards nobody. It's just
100%. Yep.
Thank you.
Legit and real, and what the fuck we're talking about.
Right. When I put on a jersey the same color as yours, we going out here to achieve a level of success, and that's what it is.
It's all about one team and one love, baby.
And
a lot of it is real talk and about.
But unfortunately, we got to deal with a lot of other shit, so it should be talked about too. There we go.
So I want to give this example because Barcot knows our boy Joe, who's incognito to the whole world at this point because we haven't talked about
Joe. Actually,
shout out to Incognito Joe.
3 years.
He and I just hung out on his birthday Sunday night.
No. I don't believe that.
We did.
No, go ahead. What?
No. I said we even brought the ladies out.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Oh, ladies got to hang out. You guys all hung out on his birthday, May 8th. Shout out.
You don't even know about Incognito Joe, bro.
Nah, this motherfucker. So my boy Joe, I don't know if you've ever met him. Yeah, homie, you met him. We were down in we went to the game on. Yeah. So I hung out with this dude for years, and we'd always hang out with Joe. And I call him Yo, he calls me Yo, and
Joe still gets mad when you and I trade in fantasy football because he's like, I'm the guy that introduced you to.
Yeah, see, so he still gets upset, and he still has the little scar there here and there, but hanging out with him, and I'm hanging out with you, homie, and I get caught up in the talk and the what do you call it, the hood talk or the ebonics and shit, vernacular. See, that's too big of a word. That's way too big of a word for me.
Speak the Queen's English, homie. You know what I'm saying?
Way too big of a word for me. But exactly what you said, homie. You understand your surroundings. You understand what's going on. But you have to be able to understand, not understand what you're allowed to say because there isn't a allowance for that, in my opinion. You just know that you shouldn't say shit that shouldn't be said at that point. And obviously you build yourself and you you do not say that anyways. So it shouldn't be an acclimate.
Okay, well, let me ask you
a
this.
way to go about it.
Let me ask you this. Do you feel like it needs to be said on some Donald Trump shit? Like, I need to be able to say freedom of speech. I need to be able to say whatever I need, whatever I want to say. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all said I need to be able to say this. What you mean?
No, that's 100% what I was attempting to say. That was 100% what I was attempting to say. So no, I would never even think about that.
Absolutely. Most rational people
understand
can read a room. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
Because
but you don't need to read the room to know. You don't need to read the room to understand what you don't need to say or what you shouldn't say to begin with.
True.
You know what I'm saying? That was the whole point of my rant of what I was attempting to say.
Yeah, it's kind of home.
I think to piggyback what both of you are saying and to get into what homie was saying, I think that particular president has unfortunately emboldened a lot of people who don't understand things. You know what I'm saying? Who can't read the room, who don't understand freedom of speech, who don't know what Jason said, that you shouldn't have to be told what to say and not to say X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying?
We were raised that way, right? Like
right. And now you've got a whole list of people who had that. Like maybe they didn't want to say those things, but then once he showed up, oh shit, I can say this. I can say this and be president of the United States. What else can I be?
Hey.
So I don't want to get all political. I know homie had to step out for a second. So I apologize for hijacking this thing.
No, that's not 100% not apologetic. That's exactly what this show is about, is because we want to talk about real shit all the time, no matter what comes out of our mouth and how it comes out. And I have to wait till homie gets back. I already forgot what I was going to say when he got back, what I wanted to say, because I wanted his response, because I know I'd get a response. But 100% is exactly what this show is about real shit and real talk about what we talk about, no matter how it goes. That's just, and that's why our dumbasses talk for fucking 2 hours, because it's
and haven't gotten to baseball yet.
And we haven't even got to the baseball part, which we will in a second. But that's 100% of what we go about is, we get talking and we get to hang out. Because how many times do you get to, I mean, you just said you saw Joe the other day. That's the first time you hung out with him in how long?
Oh, years, dude.
Exactly my point. So this is my point.
Other than the fantasy football draft, it's been years.
This is my point. Is so we get on here, we get to talk about, sports, we get to talk about life, we get to talk about all this stuff. And that's 100% why it's just a real interaction, because we get into, whatever we get into, because that's just how it is. And, we discuss that. We discuss whatever we roll into, because that's how it is, because it's all real. 100%. And we want to make it all real for everybody, because it doesn't matter. So
saying y'all was over here saying it 1,000 times because I went to take a whiz real quick. You know what I'm
saying? He was trying to apologize, and I told him no.
I did.
I tried to apologize for no shit, man. We get fucking.
What happened? What the hell did I just miss? See, damn, I'll be fucking up.
No.
I got a whiz at the wrong time.
When you left, he started to kind of talk, and I was like, "Hey, man, I want to apologize for hijacking the sports show to politics." And that's when he's like, "No.
Shit.
Hey, I just
kick that shit, dog.
And then he was like, shit. "Yeah, because that's why we talked for 2 hours and we haven't even got baseball yet."
Yeah, and homie, which you missed a little bit of, was. This is why we fucking do this shit, because, we get to talk to our boys. We get to talk about what's going on. We get to talk about life. We get to talk about all this shit. We get real. And sometimes we just have to get real about real shit in life and real shit that's going on.
Look, men is men. Look, you know what we had to do millions of years ago in the hunting and gathering days? We didn't have TV. We didn't have sports to talk about. We were just grunting and shit like Tim the Tool Man. Okay, look, dude, we need to be out here with opinions and telling. I mean, in any case, when you're at work, I mean, and some people, as an educator, dog, I'm telling you, what I hear from my kids, 12, 13 years old, about what goes on with teachers, I'd be like, I tell them all the time, I'd be like, this here. You know what I'm saying? So I just hope for society that we all be able to speak with a level of respect for the next man and next woman who's walking with us. You know what I'm saying? We know we get wild every now and again. We be, you know what I'm saying? Back in the day, what did Tupac say? I wonder why they call you bitch. Okay, yeah, dude used to say bitch like everything. That was a quote unquote term for a woman. Ain't nobody using that shit down. Ain't nobody using that shit now. You know what I'm saying? But what we got to do is what we need to focus on is to be able to speak on all of them topics that's popping out here, because, you know what I'm saying? What else is there to be real with y'all? What else is there really? Because it affects one world. And who is one world? Ain't nobody different states. If you've been to a different country before, shit, it's one world. One world, dog. And shit, I appreciate all that shit. Yeah, it says sports is a relief for a man, regardless of color and then this kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Sports is a relief for a man to have to think about a lot of the different shit that sometimes might not even come up. It's like a microcosm for, you know what I'm saying, for life as we live it. Like, you know what I'm saying, the struggle, you know what I'm saying, the camaraderie, you know what I'm saying, the you know what I'm saying, the goal, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is. That's what sports is. That gives us a breakaway from this real shit that's going on with the Illuminati or the man trying to keep us broke and this kind of thing and whatever. And we sit up here and do all of this, and we have something that we could all enjoy and we could have a conversation on. So, you know what I'm saying? Speak on that shit. And sometimes
that's why nothing's off limits, bro. We talk about anything you fucking want to talk about.
Exactly. Speak on that shit. And that's why the microcosm ends up turning into the macro, because we got to speak on this shit and let people know what it is, and our opinions turn into the story.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Where'd y'all leave off?
So let's talk. So we'll get into
Mr. Cortez.
No, let's talk. Yeah,
literally, that's how this all started.
How you started.
Shout out to Nestor Cortez.
One
man.
simple question.
Shout out to Nestor Cortez Jr. You know what I'm saying?
I asked one simple question: how I dropped Nestor Cortez after picking him up, and then after he had a good outing. I picked him up on a fantasy baseball. He went to shit that next outing, and then homie picks him up, and he's been solid since. So
I was on a 2-game losing streak.
Went into the rant about everything else. We went into cancel culture. We went into racial stuff. We went into all that bullshit, and we went into real talk about the boys just being boys.
Which, by the way, I'm with a guy with a 1.35 ERA. I'm still waiting for you to explain how you dropped him after a shit outing.
I know, because I don't know, because
what shit outing did he have? The guy's like he's leading the American.
That was the one
ERA.
where he went 4 innings, and then he went 4 innings that one game,
and he gave up 2 runs,
something like that, and didn't even last. So I had Hunter Green, I have Robbie Ray.
That last outing was beautiful though.
Oh, Robbie Ray in that 4.80 ERA.
Hey, but he does have 5 wins. I don't know how, but that's how it works. All right, so let's talk about my Mariners. If we really want to go in there, let's just get into it right now.
That's the
because I already know where this is going to happen and what's going to happen. So I already told you.
By the way, I'm going to cut you off. Congratulations.
Let's go.
101 Mariners just won their first road series last night. They are 7-12 on the road.
Okay.
Congratulations.
I'm not congratulating them. Shit.
So
almost like that. I've been hitting this mug up every week. I send him an update. Hey, you got 19 losses. Here's how many more you got till you past 62.
Oh, you motherfucker! Starting to piss me off right now.
Man, you know what? I would rather congratulate the damn Cincinnati Reds for not being for achieving a fucking a participation trophy than these damn Mariners who's supposed to be doing something and dicking around
leading
and bullshit.
Mets just lost their first series of the year to who? The Mariners. So the only team in baseball to not lose a series are the Mets, and the Mariners just rectified that. So we are on the up. Doesn't matter. What are we, 16-19 right now? And down
7 games
2-0.
out. 7 games out.
I know. We're going to talk about the Angels and the Astros here in a second. And we're going to talk about the Yankees and we're going to talk about the Dodgers. However, y'all need to be scared. They sent Kelenic down. And in the move to Toronto,
Kelenic
hopefully
is moving down. Of course,
hopefully
he is a Kelenic.
Haniger is back soon. Like I said, we have a few months left to go, and that's where they got hot last year.
Holy shit! Trevino just homered.
Who?
Trevino hitting 150 as a catch for the Yankees. They're up 4-0. He just homered.
Jeez, dude, that's another one of those things I want to talk about because the Yankees are on fire. I ain't gonna lie.
They're not going to get there. They're not going to get there. But they right now, I'm not an idiot.
O'Reilly. It's Superstart Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get up to a $25 gift card after rebate with the purchase of select Superstart batteries. Our professional parts people will test your old battery for free and recommend the right battery for your vehicle. For power, performance, and reliability, choose Superstart batteries only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now,
look at this face.
Quit hijacking my fucking segment, goddammit.
Do you see the Yankees hijacked face? The Yankees we
hijacking the Mariners right now.
We just chilling.
We're gonna talk about
the Yankees.
I have respect for the Yankees. We're not going there right now.
Go ahead.
Talk about these Mariners.
Go ahead, talk about the Mariners.
I'm watching updates. I apologize.
Let's talk about the Mariners.
I don't blame you. I respect for that.
Let's talk about the Mariners.
But we're going to talk about this. So
let's go. The Mariners.
Let's talk about that. I don't need the hype video from the hype homie right now.
The Mariners.
They're coming around. Suarez is a little disappointing at his 203 average. Winker's coming around, had a lot of fun in New York last week. So he's coming around. And let's talk about Julio Rodriguez. Over his last 15 games, he raised his average from like what was it, like 180 to 3 or to the last 15 games. Now hitting over 350 in his last 15 games. So he raised his average to like 260 something, right? 264. Not getting the shitty calls that he got early in the year, playing good baseball. We do need Haniger back, but let's see what happens in this series in Toronto. You're going against Kikuchi tonight, down 2-0 right now, which is amazing. I figured the Mariners would light Kikuchi up, which is still time. We can get there. But in all aspects of it, like we said before, rough month for the Mariners. They're going to be able to pull it out at the end. So they got Toronto, Boston, and then home against Oakland and Houston. Barcot, as we mentioned before, we have to win those in-league games. As we all talked about, you have to win those division games against Oakland and Houston. That could be the game changer, in my opinion. Not a game changer, but
I know Oakland's rebounded, but Oakland's coming off a recent 8-game losing streak, so you do have to win those games. So
you have to sweep. You have to.
When I said this, and I think you and I talked about this. I think I brought this up when homie was not here. and I had made that comment when the three of us were here, and then I looked it up, and when you and I did that podcast, Tampa Bay, when they won 100 games last year, and like I said, I rewatched our podcast because I wanted to see how wrong we were. Not you guys, but me on our projections.
All of us.
I'd be wrong all the time.
But I had made the comment that when you were getting heated about the Mariners winning 100, and I said, well, Tampa probably went 18-1 against Baltimore. They literally went 18-1 against Baltimore last year. I mean, you have to do that kind of stuff, and then you have to pick off not 18-1, but you do have to go like 11-8 against a high winning team in your league, right? So
100%.
Anaheim or Houston, you got to go 11-8, right? So
just like the NL West, right? And I'm not trying to change this up, but the LAD, San Diego, and San Francisco all have 20 wins right now. So, right. And that's in the same division. None of
them has 25, but I mean they all got 20.
This guy.
You said your boy Robbie Ray gonna win 20 games.
I did. He's at 5. He's at 5 right now, isn't he?
By the way, I think
it's like 4 or 5 or something.
I don't know how he's at 5, but he's at 5.
Homie doesn't know this.
They score runs. They score runs when Ray pitches.
No, wait a minute. He said, "I don't know something."
When Garrett Cole started off 0-0 in 3 starts with 11 and third innings, pitching a 6.35 ERA. Somebody sent me a text with his stats, pimping Robbie Ray, how bad Garrett Cole was.
Yeah.
And now I believe Garrett Cole is 3-0 with a 2.9 ERA.
He got that spider attack back though.
What a shock that Garrett Cole turned shit around. No one thought Garrett Cole was going to turn around. Meanwhile, Robbie Ray is still, sitting around a 4.90 ERA. I'm just saying.
By the way, how does the Mariners? What are your thoughts on the Mariners pitching staff though? I mean, you have
this shit.
No, they're not.
You got multiple dudes that are 1-4, 1-5.
Yeah, but you got Flexen, who's pitching tonight, who has like a 4 ERA, but doesn't give up.
I think he's already given up 3 runs.
Oh shit! Did they get another one? But he can't get any run support. You got Logan Gilbert, who's lights out, and I had it up here in a second. Logan Gilbert, and then you got
how do I win a game if I got run support?
I know. As I'm telling you, they got the Felix Hernandez shit going on right now, and I don't like it at all. But the pitching staff is good, and you just have to get. I think they did the right move with Kelenic being sent down. Hopefully, that means that either Kyle Lewis or Haniger is going to come back from his injury. He's been out for 2 weeks already from the ankle sprain, so we'll see what happens there. But this team is going to be okay because they're going to make a run just like they did before. My problem with that is what the hell is going on with Anaheim and Houston in the West, in the AL West? That's the issue right now, right? Because you have the Angels being healthy, right? You have the Angels being healthy.
Like they wasn't saying
they haven't been. Wait a minute. They haven't been in the last few years, and that's why they haven't been as good. Here? But now they're healthy. So, but they are still a surprise because Ohtani isn't gonna last all year.
You're sitting up here tripping off the Angels and the Astros doing what they would expect, what they were expecting.
No one expected.
And then now the Rangers, now the damn Mariners, are not achieving what you thought that they were gonna do.
Hey, we're going to be the silent assassin, just like I referenced to earlier. There is no problem with the Angels and the Houston Astros. They are pretenders, or as the NFL they like to call it, pedestrian in the AL West.
Here's my question. Do you have a Justin Verlander-esque pitcher?
Justin Verlander is garbage.
He's got a 150 ERA.
He'll go 8 innings though.
And he's coming off that Tommy John though, right?
He went to Seattle and beat you guys 11-0.
I know. I don't remember that at all. I forgot.
I do. So, and then do you guys have a Jordan Alvarez in your lineup like Houston? The guy
that guy is worthless. He ain't got nothing on. He ain't got nothing on Julio Rodriguez,
who's got 2 home runs and
he's balling out.
Here's my point: do you have a lockdown starter like Verlander? Do you have a home run hitter that like? And then when you look at Anaheim, do you have a starting pitcher like Ohtani or anybody else? And then do you have
Ohtani isn't going to make any more starts this year. He's done.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's done.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then, by the way, and I want to hear about Julio Rodriguez when I say the name, Mike Trout. Do not put Julio Rodriguez's name in the same fucking sentence as Mike Trout.
Hey, if Julio Rodriguez
done before?
If Julio Rodriguez got the calls that Mike Trout gets, then yes, there would be a Julio Rodriguez and a
Julio
Mike Trout
Rodriguez
reference.
Trouncing through the dugout with the cowboy hat on because I did something. You know what I'm saying? He's not doing that.
Julio Rodriguez does not have the talent Mike Trout has. You know this. Don't be that homer.
You don't know this because it's his first year. We have plenty of time to roll through
the
that.
Same amount of talent to dig sunflower seeds out the bag.
Where is the what did they have the team ERAs right now? You have your division leaders. You got your Dodgers, your Yankees at 2.74. Both of you clowns. Okay. Both of you clowns.
We're clowns. We're clowns because our pitching staff gets people out.
And Houston, LA,
shout out to Walker Buehler,
in the same division as the AL West, in the AL West with the Mariners, the Houston 2.91 and Anaheim 3.17. They ain't gonna be able to hold that up all year. Just like last year when the Mariners had the best bullpen in the year, best bullpen for the entire year and still finished in top 5. The bullpen is where it's at. So can we get some guys in the Mariners bullpen to throw innings and not give up freaking home runs and late inning runs to save the game?
You know what? I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you simply. I don't never even pay attention to the Yankees. You know why I don't pay attention to the Yankees? Because I expect them to do exactly what they're doing. I don't give a damn who the names are. I don't know because I might not know. But I expect for them to be smarter than the average bunch of jokers out here putting teams together. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the boss, and you know what I'm saying, had his ring for all these years, and his sons, I hope they, you know what I'm saying, do something, you know what I'm saying, to put that shit together so we can run up against the Dodgers one good time. You know what I mean? I just expect them to.
No,
I just expect them to do that.
Jason,
nobody wants to see that.
You cannot be that much of a homer. The entire fucking planet.
I don't want to see Gallo strike out 27 times in a series. I don't want to see.
Dude, I just asked
you
a minute ago, and we was talking. Okay, so let's add him into the situation. Remember, we talked last week about the sluggers, and there's no more sluggers anymore that anybody's scared of. And I threw Judge out there, and he was like, "Nah." And then I was like, Stanton back in the day, yeah, everybody was scared as hell. But okay, so but y'all have both of them. Okay, the Dodgers don't even have that. Okay, I'm to keep it real with you. The Dodgers don't even have that.
And both of them have double-digit home runs already on May 16th.
Thank you. And I respect Judge like that. I respect Judge like that. But this dude was like, no, nope.
And by the way,
not if you know how to pitch him. He's a fucking no problem. Might strike him out in a heartbeat.
And big homie, Jason knows this. Judge is a free agent this year. Do you think Jason, if he finds out, hey, the Yankees and Judge are having some problems with the signing, would Jason not be like, oh, well, let's go Mariners? Like he would be like he would lose his nut like he did for Cano when they signed Cano. But he'll sit here right now. I'm just letting you know.
So how are the Yankees 25-9 right now.
Yeah.
And 20-4 in their last.
They got Aaron Judge and Stanton, dude. What do you mean?
Is that right, Barcot? 20-4 in the last.
If you go to ESPN and you look when you go to the team's page and you just scroll down a little bit, it's got like offense pitching.
Yeah.
And you just click on it, team wise, not individual. They have individual and team.
Yeah.
The Yankees pitching staff is top 10 in everything. And you already mentioned tied with the Dodgers in ERA, but they're also top 10 in batting average allowed, OPS, and I don't know where they're at now, but going into the White Sox series, and I know we made several errors in the White Sox series. Tim Anderson going into the White Sox series, they said Tim Anderson had more errors by himself than the entire Yankee team. We had 7 errors in 29 games, 28 games going in. So the defense has been getting everything. I did not know because just like Big Homie, if you're not on my team, I don't pay attention to you. I was unaware of how much ground Josh Donaldson covers. I watched all 4 games against the White Sox. IKF at shortstop went to make plays, and you could see him try to do this, and Josh Donaldson flashes from third base in front of him, gets the ground ball. Like Josh Donaldson can cover two positions in the infield. Like, I did not know how much ground he covered. Their pitching staff's a 2.74 ERA. Their defense is number 1 in the league.
Who did Josh Donaldson play for before he
Minnesota?
came over?
Toronto.
Yo, I thought it was Toronto.
No, Minnesota. No, he was
Minnesota. Toronto was like the main spot.
He was
Minnesota was like a one-step spot.
He came up in Oakland, won an MVP in Oakland. They traded him to Toronto the year he won the MVP. Then in Toronto, he was a beast. They traded him to Minnesota last year. The Yankees traded him in that Gary Sanchez deal to get IKF and then Urshela. So it was basically Gary Sanchez for IKF at shortstop and Urshela for Donaldson. By the way, Urshela has gone back to what he was before the Yankees, hitting 220 with 2 home runs rather than 295 with 30 home runs. I didn't know how much ground. That IKF, he was a great defender in Texas. And now Josh Donaldson, part of the reason the Yankees are good is we're no longer running Gleyber Torres at short. You've got 2 guys on the left side of the infield. He's at second base now. And you got
They're going to finish last in the AL East, bro.
Who?
The Yankees.
With this roster?
You got Boston on the roll. They're 13-21. They're gonna bounce. Well, after they play,
they had Joey
Mariners.
Gallo.
They're gonna shut down the Yankees.
Okay,
and they're gonna make a run up. You got Tampa Bay, Toronto, and Baltimore in the middle.
By the way, I hate to break your heart on this. The Yankees and Toronto only see each other 9 more times. They've already played 10 times, and the Yankees have a winning record. They've already played 10 times. They only see each other 9 more times.
They played 10 times already?
They've already played 10 times. Toronto's already 7.
So they won't play till the end of the year then, right? More likely.
They'll basically play 3 times between now and September. And then they'll play probably 6 times in September. They're already 7.5 games back, and they only have 3 head-to-head games in 4 months. Dude, they're done.
See, that's what I'm saying, man. You can't sit up here and be like, oh, yeah, fuck the Yankees.
I can if I want.
You look at the Yankees squad, though. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing I look at. That's like me watching basketball. Who do the Celtics got? Who do the Celtics got? You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing I look at with baseball when it comes to that is who the Yankees got. And I'm trying to tell you, you got to have a level of respect for what's going on over there because
I have no respect for Barcot or the Yankees.
All right, well, go.
Jason is assuming it's the early 2000s, 1998. He doesn't understand. We have 2 catches that we roll out every game, and offensively they're terrible. That's why I was shocked when Trevino hit the home run.
They're not as bad as the Mariners catchers that are hitting 051 without Tom Murphy.
It was probably out I read today from the All-Star game. The Yankee catchers until tonight, Trevino hit that home run while we were on here. The Yankee catchers were both under 200 and 0 home runs. IKF is hitting 280 with 8 RBIs and no home. So my point is this: it's not It's not your grandpa or even our early 90s, 2000 Yankees where it's 5 guys that hit 40 home runs and then you can't hit home run. The Yankees literally won a game yesterday, 5-1. 2 hits.
I just told this dude that about the Dodgers. The Dodgers ain't even warmed up yet. Mookie is garbage right now, and making a couple runs, and this is what's going on.
And Mookie's going to hit 310 with 30 home runs at the end of the year.
And Trey Turner ain't warmed up yet. You know,
exactly.
We're working off of Gavin Lux.
And then you got all the injuries.
Tucker.
You got all the injuries.
Come on, Turner. Come on, man.
But here's what I'm saying: the Yankees they're no longer reliant. Yes, they have 3 guys that are on the verge of double-digit home runs, but they don't live off of it. I've watched the Yankees win games where they hit the ball behind the base runner, allowed them to advance. They've done sack bunts. By the way, the Yankees have almost 30 stolen bases in less than 40 games. They're doing all the little things, and then they lead the league in defense and in ERA. It's not the Yankees with a 4.50 ERA and 500 home runs. They're different.
I tell you, man.
They're different.
I tell you, the whole game is different, though. You know what I'm saying? We just talked about this last week, and we're talking about, dude, the big boppers.
Almost fell over.
We look at, and we talked about the Yankees, and I brought up Judge and Stanton, and he was like, nah. And then I was like, okay, well, if they don't have one, then it's got to be Vlad. The Tampa Bay don't have one. The Dodgers, if Bellinger's not hitting, he ain't a bopper. The Machado ain't a bopper. Tatis.
Are you asking Barcot who he thinks is a scary hitter in the MLB right now? Okay.
Yes. So who was the guy you most scared of in the lineup?
Oof, that is tough.
Who's the cleanup hitter
that a pitcher would be scared of
with the biggest reputation? With the biggest reputation, you scared?
Yeah,
of.
we hit Judge, we hit Stanton, I guess, in a way. Bellinger when he's on.
Stanton's getting hot, but he's
and then Vlad, we hit Vlad, right?
Vlad's
anybody we were missing. Well, Bryce Harper right now is one of those guys.
Chris Davis.
No, nobody's scared of him.
He hit 50 home runs, though.
I got to tell you right now. So, and Jason's going to hate this because I went through fantasy baseball stats last night and looked at everybody's leading scores. Last week, Ohtani, but that because he also got the pitch. But behind Ohtani was Stanton and Judge in points scored in fantasy baseball last week because they're hitting, obviously. It could change next month. Bellinger's going to warm up. Yelich just had a hit for the cycle for the 3rd time, which ties him for the record in the history of baseball.
Bellinger
right now.
Don't forget about Winker. Don't forget about Winker and Suarez too. They're gonna.
There's nobody in the
man. You're tripping. You gotta relax.
So if you were to say right now, today, May 16, 2022, I'm not saying end of the year. I'm not calling MVP. I'm just saying right now, today, you'd have to go with Judge based off what he did last week. And he hit a walk-off last week. He hit another big home run in Chicago. I mean, right now, today, he's the scariest guy. Today.
There's no guy. There's no guy. We're not scared of Albert Pujols no more. We're not scared of damn it. I'm looking through I'm just looking at teams. That's all I'm looking at is team. We're scared of Miguel Cabrera because he's batting 4th now. You know what I'm saying?
Buxton?
No. I'm talking about the dude who's notoriously batting 4th or 5th. You know what I'm saying? Who you're like, oh shit, I gotta get past this guy. I gotta get everybody out past this guy.
What the
fuck? The Mark McGwire, the Barry Bonds, you know what I'm saying, the Sammy Sosa, all that don't exist no more. We talked about this last week.
No, 100%.
We talked about it because the game is played different with the shift and all of that, and it's literally a couple outcomes. It's strikeout, it's walk, home run. That's what happens nowadays. You know what I'm saying? When somebody come up to bat, strikeout, out, home run.
Well, especially when the whole league's hitting like 230 or whatever. It might be 235 now since it's kind of went up the last 2 weeks.
I could think of a dude, but I think it's Judge or still, even Stanton with 2 years of being garbage, I would sit up here if I'm on the mound. I'm going, oh shit, Stanton. You know what I'm saying? But a new school guy, it's only Vlad Jr., I think. Go ahead.
People forget how young Stanton is because he's been in the league forever. He's only 32. They forget the Marlins brought him up at 19 and he hit 27 home runs as a rookie at 19. He's just surpassed 350 home runs at 32 years old. Now, that's not record-setting by any means. A-Rod and those guys had right around 390, 400. So he's, like you just said, he had those 2 wasted seasons, the COVID year and then the hurt year where he only played like 10 games and hit 3 home runs. But he's 32. And if the Yankees want to, they can full-time DH him. That guy could still hit 600 home runs. He's 32 years old. I mean, that guy's he's a guy to be reckoned with. And by the way, he's got another hit tonight. He's hit 296 right now. And people forget, last year he finished at 285. And by the way, look what he's done the last 2 postseasons. Granted, the Yankees only played 1 postseason game last year, but he doubled and homered. And then the COVID postseason, he hit 6 home runs. So the guy's been on fire in the postseason for the Yankees. He's starting to build a resume.
So when we talk about the fearless hitters or fearful hitters, right? We talk about these guys and no bonds and all that. How many home runs last year did Ohtani hit? 46 or something like that, right?
Right.
And then now you got Judge and Stanton both in double digits, and you got I had it up and
don't forget that Judge and Stanton last year hit 39 and 38, so it wasn't like they were
okay. Right. No. My point is that now I heard that they're changing the baseball again right now because, as we referenced to earlier, the unders were at a certain point like 60%, and now they're only up to 50, or now they're down to like 53% in the unders. Is that what I said? 53% unders now. They were up a little higher, but now the ball is getting changed again because you know how MLB does it. They want more runs. They want all this. So I'm not saying anything about Judge and Stanton and Buxton and all these other guys that are in the top, 10 in home runs right now. But I'm just saying that there's going to be more run producing opportunities throughout the year. So my question is, do we see a 50 homer guy this year? Will you see a 60 homer guy this year? Because after the last couple of years with COVID, baseball wants to bring back the long ball and wants to bring more seats into the stands, especially if they're going to go back, if they're going to change some shit up next year with the automated strike zone or the pitch clock or the bigger bases and all that shit. So what do you think? I mean, you guys seen that, right? Like the baseball is different. They've had players talk about it.
I don't know about 60.
50 maybe?
I think I've always thought that 50 is achievable if that's
we're not going to see players hit 300, and we're not going to see players hit Tony Gwynn numbers, TG numbers, RIP TG, 390 or whatever, and strike out one time all year.
Nobody's that dedicated to play like TG, bro. Nobody is that dedicated except for Ichiro. Ichiro's the last person who I felt like who just wanted to get on base. Okay, like I don't give a hell how I'm about to get on base. But see, the game has changed and everybody's swing has changed. Everybody's swing comes with the uppercut because of the 3 outcomes. There's walk, strikeout, home run, right?
And that's literally what it is anyways.
Outcomes. Yeah,
you're going to get that either way, especially right now with the everybody hitting 230 on the year.
So, I mean, the way that I look at it, that's why I asked the question last year, because I go, well, what brings baseball forward in terms of eyes? And where's the big guy? And I go, I always look to New York and LA first because that's where the media is. And I go, dude, come on, man. You can't if you hate on Aaron Judge and the All Rise, you're a hater. If you hate on Aaron Judge and the All Rise situation, you are a straight hater. You don't even want baseball to succeed then, because that is the catchiest shit that we done had in a minute. Okay? Really, word on everything. It should be major spotlight. And I just hope that he just keeps producing, because when he was them first couple of years, when it was All Rise and people was in them Supreme Court judge outfits in the damn stadium at Yankee Stadium with the wigs on, I was like, oh, okay, Yankees done found them something. We got to do something about this over here on our side.
I just find I find it hard to enjoy a Yankees home run and not being a hater. I would much rather see Paul Goldschmidt hit 12 home runs right now and be excited about baseball than watching Aaron Judge or Giancarlo Stanton, because their swing is terrible and they have no idea how to hit a baseball. As I hold this,
that's like
right
me
here.
Sitting up here. That's like me sitting up here having an argument about Larry
You're telling
Bird's
me
stroke
that Aaron Judge and
Giancarlo
Stanton, it is not even traditional. It's just a terrible string. I can't even show you right now because I'd hit my computer. Barcot, he's 6'5". Giancarlo Stanton's swing is garbage. That's why he can't hit anything but a fastball. Just like Joey Gallo can't hit anything but a fastball. But when he does,
wait a minute.
Go ahead. Speak on this Yankee situation.
Joey Gallo can control
Bryce Harper's swing. I would take Bryce Harper to hit 50 home runs and be excited to watch it.
By the way,
no, he is. I anonymous. He is. Absolutely.
Joey Gallo is mad disappointing.
He's every year. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, he was cool. He was a productive individual. Come on, man. He is disappointing to a Yankees.
Tripping.
No, man, come on, man. Look at his stats. He's
when you
disappointing
strike out
to a Yankees roster.
Times in 100 at bats, that's not productive.
Man, come on, man. Tell me how you feel about with the Yankees roster.
So
I'm just saying.
Anyway, no, you're being a hater. I know with anonymous, I agree.
Not being a hater, I'm just telling you.
Gallo has been 100% disappointing, but you cannot say, Jason, that the guy just swings and misses. He controls the strike zone. He strikes out a lot. 100%.
Gallo or Giancarlo?
Gallo.
You're talking about Joey Gallo. That's the third guy they got. See, you ain't even paying attention. They got guys over there.
Well, I just mentioned all three of those guys that are garbage, and
I understand.
That's why I just wanted to clarify.
Judge, I hate to break your heart. Judge has never hit.
Good.
He's never hit below like 260 in a year. So as much as he may swing and miss,
I'm okay with Judge.
He does not hit he's not that guy hitting 40 home runs with a 235 average. Okay. Joey Gallo, and I know his average sucks, and I know he's a swing and miss guy. But Joey Gallo also, there was a year in Texas where he led the league in strikeouts and led the league in walks.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, he swings and misses, but he understands the strike zone. Just because he swings and misses doesn't exactly. He's not going to chase, but again, he knows I'm not here to hit singles, so I'm going to swing for the fence, and that means I'm going to swing through a lot of pitches. But he's not going to swing at a shitty pitch that's 2 feet off the plate bouncing. And we've all seen guys do. Miguel Sano, that's a shitty hitter. That's a shitty hitter. He opened the season 0 for 19 with 12 strikeouts. That's a shitty hitter. And you want to know how he's a shitty hitter? Names. Remember when he was in the home run derby with Aaron Judge? Aaron Judge's rookie year. When's the last time anybody cared about Miguel Sano? He's in the minor leagues right now.
No, he's on the IR, isn't he?
Well, he also got sent to the minors. Gallo, even though he swings and misses, has not been that guy. Like He has been consistent. People know what he is. So it's one thing for you to say he's garbage, and I understand that because you guys don't go to the playoffs. So when he knows what he is, and homie knows this, Bellinger has not been good for a while. Bellinger has not been good
41% strikeout ratio.
What are you talking about?
Gallo.
Whose number is that?
Gallo.
But here's my point. As a team, when you know who your guys are and you can build around them, then it's okay to have that guy. It's okay. Look at the Dodgers. Bellinger is not the guy he was 3 years ago, but guess what? They still compete because they understand how to build around Bellinger. And God forbid Bellinger comes back. Holy shit, they're lights out.
That's your ass.
But because they built around him knowing this is what Cody Bellinger probably really is, now we can compensate if he falls off, just like a Joey Gallo. Do you really think that the Yankees went out and got guys?
You're telling me you wouldn't take anybody other than Joey Gallo in left field right now? Plus, he sucks at defense.
No, he's not.
That's the guy you got.
He's not.
It's the guy you
got.
Joey
Gallo up. Joey Gallo is one of the best left fielders in baseball. They talked about that when he got traded. He's one of the best defenders.
They are not talking about Joey Gallo being the best outfielder in baseball.
Explain to me
compared to anybody else.
Explain to me why he starts in left field every day and there's a number one defensive team.
Because they don't have anybody fucking else. That's why.
Not when you're number one in defense.
Are you gonna put Miguel Andujar out there, who's played 2 games? You gonna put?
I hate to break your heart. Go look him up. He's a better left fielder than your left field.
No, that's not
better. True. Yes, he is. Go look him up.
I don't have time. I don't have time for all that.
He's won awards. Well, I don't have to look it up because I can tell you he's won awards as a defensive player. Joey Gallo,
but not in the last 3 years.
Yes, he has.
That's why the Rangers traded him, and that's why he lost.
The Rangers were looking.
Do you not remember last year? Do you not remember last year when Gallo was in right field and gave up all those runs when he was trash?
I do.
Now you're telling me that he is legit a best outfielder in the American League? Gallo?
Homie, Mariner fan doesn't get this. They traded Gallo for
I'm not even talking about the Mariners. I'm talking about this clown.
No. To open up money. That's the reason they signed the 2 middle infielders they got. Because if we can trade away Gallo in his contract and we don't have to re-sign Gallo, now we can go get Seager and Simeon. If Gallo's there, they can't do that stuff. Plus, hey, we can get some minor leaguers to come in with our 2 big free agents.
I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about how he's shit.
They didn't trade him because he was bad defensively. They traded him so that they could open up the pocketbooks and rebuild their team.
Right.
Joey Gallo was a great defender.
He was the guy there.
And I'm not telling you.
Homie, I'm not talking to you.
And I'm not telling you Joey Gallo's.
Rangers.
What I'm telling you is teams that are smart know how to build. I can't
argue with Barcot because I lose every time.
They know how to build around players. So, for example, again, Felix,
know how to build around players.
Over your shoulder, King Felix. Did they know how to build around King Felix? Did they realize they had the number one pitcher in baseball?
Hell no.
Ask
Freddie Garcia. Oh, look, hey, I was here, and I watched a team that had juice behind it. They had fan juice behind it, and that shit was garbage. Okay, the product was garbage, and you know it was garbage. So you can't even front. In the heyday of Ichiro, Freddie Garcia, and damn Felix Hernandez, that shit was garbage. They went and got Robinson Cano to fix the garbage dumbfire that was here. It wasn't happening. You know, dude, you don't even. But that's what I'm saying. Look, that's why you walk off because you don't even know what it is.
So big home.
Now they got to plug my computer in because it's about ready to die.
Here's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's normal excuse.
They don't know. They didn't know how to build around King Griffey. They didn't know how to build around King Felix. Did the Dodgers know how to build around Kershaw? Hell yeah, that's why he was in the playoffs every year and got the ring. They understood even when Kershaw was starting to slip. Because when's the last time Kershaw pitched 33 games in a season? We know it's been years.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
But guess what the Dodgers did?
Baby.
They did not panic.
Got
They
some
did not
shit to
freak
say
out.
about them too.
They
There's
they
arms.
went out. They went out and understood how do we build around him because he's a stud, and we know he can't be a stud for 33 games. But hey, for 12 games, he's lights out. Now, how do we build around him
As long as it's not in the playoffs.
so that we're ready for the other 21
Look.
games? So you have to know who you are and how to. That's why the Yankees went out. That's why they gave up on Gary Sanchez because we can't have Sanchez and Gallo. We can't have two dudes not doing it at the plate.
Yeah.
That's why they moved Torres the second because they understood he's a great talent, but he can't be put in a position at shortstop where he doesn't have the range or the arm. Put him at second where the hardest throw he's going to make is to first base.
See, these are the conversations. These are the conversations that people
I love having these conversations.
who are fans
More than I
of
like talking about the Mariners
the
because
Rangers,
then I get to
the
talk
Royals,
shit to you clowns.
and the damn Mariners, and all of these little bum ass teams. You know what I'm saying? They don't know nothing about. You know what I'm saying?
Call us bum ass teams when we're in the playoffs, bro.
No, whatever. Okay, you're not trying to win. Okay, all I know is that you. Ask your average Yankees fan, okay, whether the shit goes down or
There's
not.
no average Yankees fans. They're all clowns.
Whether it goes down or not. Okay.
We're here to win every year.
They expect a damn win. Okay. And the franchise from the top down expect a damn win. That's why I got a little bit of respect for him and I want to see him. Okay. Because it ain't happened yet in my adult lifetime. I needed to go down.
By the way, homie, I agree with you. Jason doesn't get it when he made the comment that no one wants to see that. The world would fucking love to see that.
We talked about this last
year. Do you
year.
understand the World Series ratings?
Levity.
If the Yankees Dodgers, oh my God.
Stupid.
Sports shows on ESPN and Fox Sports in the morning would start talking about baseball if it's Dodgers Yankees in the World Series.
Let's go Mets. Let's go, Mets.
Okay, so what happened when it was a Subway Series? When it was a Subway Series, right? Okay, so it was a Subway Series, and you had a combatant to the Empire.
That was more.
Even my boy Mike Pizza Man, wasn't ready for the damn Yankees, bro. I'm trying to tell you, it's just not a thing. And that was after 9/11. I mean, if you ain't got enough juice after 9/11, come on, dog. Okay.
Hey, LA,
look at
New York City. LA and New York City are different in October. It's different city in October.
You ain't wrong at that.
I'm telling you right now, Seattle doesn't understand what LA, Chavez Ravine, and
Seattle don't give a fuck. Okay.
They don't
That's because we don't know
that
about it, bruh. We don't
you can't get there.
know about that. Give us a taste, and the people will come out.
1995 wasn't enough. 116 wasn't enough to bring some juice.
1999 and 2000.
116 wasn't enough juice. Are you kidding me? 116 still sitting up there as the world record of the number, and it's the damn Mariners. And it's the Mariners.
Jason,
are you kidding me, bro?
Say their name, Jason.
He don't even know.
Who beat the 116 win Mariners in the postseason? Who sent them packing?
Your fucking Yankees.
And
I was actually at that game. I was actually at a playoff game. One of the home playoff games, if I remember correctly. How old was I back then? What was that? 2001?
Yeah, that was the last time you guys made it.
So how old was I back then? Fuck, I don't even know.
I don't know.
15?
Babies born that year are at the bar drinking legally now. That's how long the Mariners have been in the playoffs.
Okay, so what was the King Griffey slide year? That was
95.
not versus the Yankees, was it?
That was 95, yeah.
Jack McDowell, 95.
Okay, my bad. Okay, so 95
so it's Bull.
Last year's they beat the Yankees. That was the only year they beat the Yankees then. I thought that they had won. I thought they had lost against the Yankees.
Game went that series went to 5 games.
However, look up 99, 2000, 2001. Because I remember, and it wasn't even 2001. I remember Lou Piniella guaranteeing Game 6 and Yankee fans at Yankee Stadium screaming after David Justice hits a grand slam no game 6 on TV. No game 6.
Oh, who was the Mariners on that 0-1 squad? It wasn't Junior.
No, he was gone. No, Junior was gone.
Junior was gone, bro.
That was A-Rod. Ichiro, Garcia.
Ichiro? No, not Ichiro.
Yeah, that was Ichiro's already. Year. Yeah, that was Ichiro's rookie year.
Unit was gone.
You know what?
Unit was gone.
You know what? I take that back.
That's what I'm saying. Ichiro wasn't there yet.
Yeah, he was. What I take back is that was the year A-Rod was gone. He signed with Texas that offseason. Because I was at Federal Way High School, and I remember all the Mariner fans when A-Rod left and we signed, and the Mariners signed Ichiro. They're like, "We're going to be shitty."
2001, I was running the shop right here at Federal Way in my hometown. After mile, I was running the shop over here.
There you go.
They had the thing and all that. Okay, so wait a minute. They had Ichiro.
They had Ichiro, no Junior. Freddie Garcia, no Junior, because he was gone in 90.
Yeah,
okay.
Freddie Garcia.
Sure.
They had Jose Guillen at shortstop.
Okay, that ain't helping.
This motherfucker.
They had
John Olerud.
Edgar was
Brett
still
Boone.
there.
David Bell.
Brett Boone. That was the year Brett Boone got signed.
Brett Boone with
steroids. 40 home
Brett
runs.
Boone with the heavy steroids.
Yep.
Okay, yep.
That's how
okay.
we
That's
do
what
it.
it was.
Richie Sexton style.
Richie Sexton. Yeah.
That's where Big Sexton.
He wasn't on there.
That's
he
where
wasn't on
Mariner
there, but
fans,
he's that style.
That's where Mariner fans, because remember, Mariner fans were coming out of all those playoff years where Jay Buhner, Edgar, King Griffey Jr., and now all of a sudden it was Ichiro, and Brett Boone was only like a 12 home run guy in Cincinnati. So they were like, and he's coming to Safeco. So they were like,
Juice.
We have no home run power. I remember I was sharing a classroom with a guy in Federal Way, and he walked in and threw his bag down at like 7:30 in the morning. We're gonna fucking suck. And that was right before the season started, because all the Mariner fans were like, they were so used to 4 40 home run guys in the middle of the lineup, and now they had nobody in their minds. They didn't know what each would be, and no one saw Brett Boone coming. No one saw that. and no one, because even though Jose Guillen's a nobody at shortstop and flamed out Detroit, but for about 3 years, Jose Guillen was like that 315 home run guy, 90 RBIs at shortstop.
But John Olerud, though.
It looked like the Mariners had won that Randy Johnson trade because they got Freddie Garcia, they got Jose Guillen, they got a reliever, and those guys were taking them to the playoffs.
John Olerud. John Olerud ain't been hard since I had his Toronto Blue Jays card back in the day. Come on, man. You got to relax. Come on, man. It's John Olerud.
That was wild. They got that without Griffey and without no Felix that year, obviously.
But that's
Felix
the point of
what
we're talking about. You look at that team plus the 116 team.
Yeah,
there wasn't nothing to look at. They was just getting.
That was the let's see.
That was the 116.
2001.
Was that the 116 team? Okay, so that's what I'm saying. You look at that squad versus what they had.
That's where they came back at the end of the year
with the
and
Junior,
put on that
A-Rod, and Unit and all of those guys. That's what I'm saying. It's totally different. That's what I'm saying. You can't have crazy ass obnoxious thoughts of what the world really is when you've done it different ways before. You did it with Junior and A-Rod together when A-Rod was a young buck, right? You know what I'm saying? Then you passed off. Then you hit the 116. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, then it became shitty when Ichiro was by itself. It was Ichiro and King Felix. Then it was shitty.
By the way, I do want to point this out.
You can't admit that. You gotta admit
how big of a failure is that to have King Griffey Jr. still hitting 45 home runs, a young A-Rod who was a 30-30 guy in Seattle, Jay Buhner, Edgar Martinez, Randy Johnson on the hill, and you couldn't win a title. You had the most dominating starting pitcher and the scariest lineup in baseball, and you couldn't get it done.
Yeah, they couldn't name back in the day with Mark Langston
I agree.
and Alvin Davis.
Can you agree that or can you name a different lineup, a full roster, other than the whatever year that was with the Atlanta Braves, that had a better lineup name team than the Mariners that year?
Yeah.
Oh no,
88 Dodgers.
Nah, I don't know about that, bro.
Well, and by the way, I would also argue, and I'm arguing. I'm not saying they were, and I'm going to be biased, but the '98 Yankees, where Tino hit 40+ home runs. People sleep on Bernie Williams, who hit 330+ with 35 home runs every year. Paul O'Neill, who hit 300+ with 30 home runs every year. Then you throw in Derek Jeter, throw in Jorge Posada.
I would keep it real with the 88, 89 A's though. I mean, the unstoppable 88, 89 A's
roster though.
The 88, 89 A's is what I'm telling you, undefeated.
Where's Trent at when we need him? Because Trent could probably tell us that for sure.
Remember, it was it 90 that Cincinnati won the World Series against the A's?
With Norm Charlton and
the nasty boy,
Tom Browning, the nasty boy.
Here's the reason I bring that up. You have Oakland with Tony Phillips, Mr. The Swiss Army knife, Tony Phillips, who played in all 8 positions, not pitching. Then you had obviously the Bash brothers. Then you have the third baseman Carney Lansford. Then you had then you had
see these names.
Then you had Harold Baines. Then you had Harold
Carney Lansford.
Don't forget, they also had Harold Baines at DH. And remember, they got Willie McGee from St. Louis that year. And Willie McGee won the batting title in the National League because he got traded with enough at bats at the end of the year. He still had a 340 batting average. So when Oakland got him, and that's the year they lost to the Reds, but they had the Bash brothers, Carney Lansford. They had all that, and Dave Stewart. And that was the year Bob Welch went 27-3, and they didn't win the World Series. And Bob Welch, by the way, here's how old Bob Welch was.
Bob Welch is a Dodger, bro. I don't care what y'all say. Bob Welch is a Dodger.
That's what I was going to say. Bob Welch by 1990. If you weren't a baseball fan, of course, the internet did not exist, and so you couldn't look him up. Bob Welch was on the hill when Reggie Jackson hit 3 home runs at Yankee Stadium. Bob Welch pitched that game, and he pitched in the 1990 World Series as an Oakland A. That's how long Bob Welch went.
I love
Bob Welch was waiting.
Ball talk.
Yeah, Bob Welch was on that Dodgers squad waiting
to
get on with Oral Hershiser, Tom Niedenfuhr, I got some more names for you.
Fernando Valenzuela, is that what you're talking about?
No, not Fernando wasn't in 88. The 88 squad, I'm trying to tell you, it was
yes, he
Oral.
Was. There's no doubt.
No. Fernando was there in 88.
Fernando was not on the 88 squad. He didn't win a title with us in 88. He didn't win a title with us.
Yes, he did.
He was on the look.
Hang on,
look it
up right now.
I'm looking it up right now.
Look at
it. 1988, you said?
Fernando Valenzuela started with the Dodgers in 1980.
Yeah.
And he was with the Dodgers until 1991. He was on that
the whole time,
squad.
though.
Well, he started. He started.
What is his stats in 88?
He had 23 starts. It's 23 starts.
Remember that.
By the time 1988 rolled around, he was a 9-year veteran.
Damn, how do I not remember that? But I remember him. I'm trying to tell you, because before Oral Hershiser in the 88 squad, I'm telling you, Pedro Guerrero and then Fernando Valenzuela,
Pedro Guerrero, who they got out of St. Louis,
Steve Sachs. I'm telling you, our squad was thick, but we didn't win shit. Okay, all through the 80s until you know what I'm saying? The 80s, once we won it in 80, we were locked the hell out until 88. And once we won it in 88, some of those guys were still around.
Kurt Gibson doing the whole.
Yep, because we had lost Steve Garvey. We had lost all of these dudes. Steve Howe, Don Sutton, all of the good, dope ass old school guys that we had from back in the day. We had lost them all. Now we were dealing with a young ass Oral Hershiser, Bob Welsh, Tim
Leary,
Tim Belcher, okay,
Tim Leary,
Tom Niedenfuhr,
Ramon Martinez.
I thought Ramon was the 90s.
No, Ramon was a couple years after we won the title because we had a heavyweight a set of years.
You had a 20-year-old Ramon Martinez in 1988, bro.
We had a 7-year run of Rookie of the Years, bro. We had Ramon Martinez, we had Pedro Martinez, we had Eric Carros, we had Mike Piazza, we had everybody. Hideo Nomo, we had everybody. Rookie.
Remember when they traded
6 years straight?
Remember they traded Pedro to the Expos?
Man, I was so damn pissed off, bro.
He had too many shoulder injuries in the minor leagues. They thought he would never come around.
Pissed off, bro. Man,
I
thought after Oral Hershiser was gone, I thought we had Ramon Martinez, Pedro Martinez, and whoever the hell else.
And kids today, and now Chris is probably like, well, I'm recording this shit because now it's just 3 dudes having a conversation. We're not even a podcast.
Exactly. Yep. That's how we do.
These kids today forget when's the last time a dude struck out 300 hitters. Pedro in his peak in Boston was like 350 Ks and like 30 walks. That's how few people he walked. That's why people got so pissed off when he hit a batter. That motherfucker walked one guy a start.
And he's throwing old dudes on the ground like it's nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So hey, what's up, old dude? Don Zimmer?
When you hit somebody, and by the way, that playoff series was nuts because you remember Fenway where fans tried to.
Hard, though.
Jeff Nelson grabbed a fan out of the stands and pulled him to the bullpen and started beating on him. Like they were beating up fans. Like
that was was that the Who's Your Poppy? Or was that the Who's Your Poppy series?
That was the Yankees
with the Yankees and the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's Your Poppy? Yeah.
They were beating up. Literally, they were pulling fans out of the stands and beating them in the bullpens. And I remember every game. It felt like there was a fight. That was different. That was different. You talk about the peak of the Yankees.
We lost that.
Yeah.
Do y'all think that we've lost that? Because it's the same thing. And now let's talk about, you know what I'm saying, how sports kind of have evolved. People look at basketball because they go, oh man, fuck, man, all my favorite guys, Tiny Archibald, Wilt Chamberlain, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and all these dudes. And now you got Steph Curry, you know what I'm saying, got more 3-pointers than Larry Bird and Reggie Miller combined. You know what I'm saying? You got more points scored than this, that, and the other thing, and LeBron is creeping up on it. You know what I'm saying? So the game has changed, right? With baseball, I'm trying to tell you, it's like what we sit up here and we enjoy all of the old school stuff, but I just will never stop trying to, you know what I'm saying, recognize these new dudes because they play different. Basketball, once they instituted that 3-point shot into the game, because they would look at Steve Kerr like Michael Jordan going, I'm going to pass it to Steve Kerr for a 3-pointer. And this is going to be some amazing shot. And this is the 90s, bro. So now we're talking about 30 years later, well, 25 probably. And now people pulling up from the logo at half court and making it on a regular basis. So now that Larry Bird now looks like a shit-ass 3-point shooter. You know what I'm saying? As you look at the range of people who shot the shot.
So I get what you're saying, because you're saying the game has changed in other sports.
All of them.
Ugly. Well, now I will argue that baseball has not. Because I would argue that home run hitters are not looked at any differently than home run hitters of old. But I would argue.
No, there's no home run hitters though. So what we were saying, when I say the game went back to more like what we used to look at when we were playing Pony and Bronco and T-ball and whatever, or and your Little League, because it's more like what Mike Scioscia used to teach when he was a manager for the Angels. It was a small ball. Just make contact, get on, and do this, because there's not a 40 home run hitter on every team anymore. We talked about this last week. There's not a
There's
bopper
not.
on every team.
There's not, but there's still guys who have hit 50 home runs in the league still
That's
playing.
True.
Aaron Judge, Pete Alonso, those guys, Giancarlo.
You ain't scared of Pete though.
Jock.
You might be scared of Aaron Judge, and you might be scared of Giancarlo.
I will tell you this, and when I say this, I agree with you. Pete Alonso, jump me if you want, might be the most. When you have that one guy that kind of exceeds for 1 year, not Brady Anderson-esque, because Pete Alonso was a good 35 and 40.
Yeah, Brady Anderson was a disappointment in all respects.
But Pete Alonso hit. The fact that Pete Alonso owns the rookie home run record and will never approach that many home runs again the rest of his career. You know
what did
he
hit that year? 56? 54?
53. He hit
53?
He had one more than Judge. And so the fact that he owns that record and will probably never hit 45 again. But okay. I think we can all
agree. What side do you want? Okay.
I think we can all agree. Judge might pop 50 again. I don't think anybody saw.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't think people saw Judge hit 52 and go, fuck that. That'll never happen again. Pete Alonso's not going to hit 50 again unless we bring back the juice ball.
Which I just talked about earlier today.
Because we talked about last week. I was like, remember when it was Ryan Braun?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is a dude and playing in Milwaukee. But they were scared of him. You know what I'm saying? And he was busting 40s on a regular.
They found out later. Now, he did have one good year after he got juiced. He did have one good year. But after that, it's amazing how fast Ryan Braun retired.
Yeah, he got up out of here, though, with that paper. That's how you got to do it.
Why is it the Milwaukee guys?
No, not either.
Why is it the Milwaukee guys? Sexton, Braun, Yelich right now.
And by the way, who was the owner of that team? Who was the owner of that team that became the commissioner and outlawed steroids?
Oh shit! Not good old Bud.
Bud Selig.
Yeah, not good old Bud.
He owned that team, and by the way, he did not sell it. He handed it to his daughter.
Yeah,
so while he's outlawing steroids,
they knew what
daughter.
It was.
Oh shit! Yeah,
they knew what it was.
Yes, they.
But I mean, why won't they give us a 1999 run again?
Because
you know what I'm saying? Why won't they give us a Barry Bonds chase again? But see, the thing is, there's nobody.
Well, they might this year. I'm telling you right now, they will.
Who are you gonna ride? Who am I gonna ride?
Well, we'll find out because right now you have the Yankees, you have Stanton, you have Judge right now, right? And then you're gonna get another guy, and you got. I just had it up. Now I thought we were done talking a little bit about that, but you still have Upton, who hasn't even played a whole lot of games this year, and he still has 11. And then you have
no.
You have a couple guys at 9.
Don't bring up Alvarez from Houston, who's got 11. You said was trash.
Oh yeah, I said that's right. I did see him too, who's trash. I did say that. Yeah. So you got Alvarez, but he's gonna hit 20 or 25. That's all he's got.
He is 40 every year.
That's what I'm saying.
He will not. He will hit 25 this year. I promise you that.
Every player that y'all can name that's hot in the streets
is
not a candidate for what we're talking about. Bryce Harper, Mike Trout.
How many does he have right now?
You know what I'm saying?
But you gotta remember,
Jose
Trout
Abreu.
has to stay healthy though, bro.
Jose Abreu was the kid.
And you gotta remember Ohtani. You gotta remember Ohtani has to stay healthy too.
Now here's why I will argue Jose Abreu, because I have him on fantasy, and I just watched him for 4 games against the Yankees. He leads the White Sox with 125 at bats. He's hitting 202 with 3 home runs. Now I understand there's getting hot, but this mug has got to get white hot. Like
that's what I'm
saying.
125 at bats, 600 at bats is a full season. So he's already past 16%, and he's hitting 200 So there's got to be like a white hot stretch. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying. I don't know if he can do it because I watched him swing the bat. I watched him swing the bat the last 4 games. It was ugly. He looked lost. We may be seeing a guy that was, I'm not saying on steroids by any means, but we might be seeing a guy that's got an injury that we didn't know about that's bothering him permanently. I watched his, even against Nestor, who's throwing 92 miles an hour, he looked lost.
So was that talking home runs? We got, like I was saying, Rizzo, your boy Rizzo too he has 9. You know that dude can hit 2 or 3 a game.
Rizzo had 9 6 weeks ago. Rizzo hasn't hit a home run.
Because he hit 3 that one game, right? Rizzo hit 3 that one game.
Rizzo hasn't homered in like literally a couple
2 weeks. Yeah, he literally 2 weeks. But you got
Like
Harper.
At one point,
what about Adames? Another one of those Milwaukee guys.
See, come on, man. Are you serious,
man? You can't forget about Eugenio Suarez, who has 6, bruh.
Are we serious about who? Big homie. When you said, are you serious? Serious about who?
He said Adames.
Yeah, Willie Adames, bro. He's another one of those.
What are we talking about here? Or what is the level of reaching that we're willing to take?
I'm just talking about get to 50, bro. Get to 50.
No, I'm not. But see, I'm talking about. I don't care if they get 50 or not. Okay, I'm talking about that guy. Who is that guy? And there is no that guy. I swear, I'm only looking at. I keep it real, trustworthy, honest, and all that.
By the way,
the team got 2 people, and it's the damn Yankees. It's Stanton. If Stanton get fired, I don't care if he don't play in the field ever. You know what I'm saying? If he starts seeing the ball as a DH, it's a wrap. Okay, and Judge. Okay, and that's it. Because you're getting all your at bats. Now, if Bellinger, because I've seen him before, the Dodgers don't have nobody else on that roster that is willing. That I'm looking at. That's that guy with some muscle. Okay, so that's it. Okay, Mike Trout maybe, but that's not what's going on over there. It's not happening. Bryce Harper, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Luis,
why not? He's hitting 305,
so
you can't tell me that they're not scared of him.
He's hitting 305.
They're scared of him. He's hitting 305. The fucking league average is 230, bro.
I don't give a shit. The ball ain't going over the fence.
Hey,
okay,
he has his opportunities to put it there, is what I'm saying. His 9 home runs and his OPS is.
Man, we're gonna fuck around and be talking about George Springer. You know what I'm saying?
His OPS is 994, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Watch what happens.
And you got Trout at 1,000. You got Buxton and Judge at over 1.02.
See, at the end of the year, we're gonna have somebody who led the league in home runs. Who we're all 3 of us are like, oh, that guy. You know what I'm saying? It's not a usual suspect, is what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? A power guy that shows results. Where's the power guys that give us results? I don't care if it's 50. It could be 45. But he showed us results. He came through when he was supposed to come through. Because that could have been, like I said, Ryan Braun always came through with the good 40 for us. That's the kind of idea I'm talking about. And teams don't even have that guy anymore because we're playing small ball with the shift and all of this other horse shit that's going on. Okay. And that's what's going on. So nobody's hitting for power anymore, even though everybody's adjusted their swing to the uppercut. Word to everything. They have switched their swing to the uppercut. They just strike it out.
I would argue this, and this is, and I'm gonna get on Jason about it. This has been the Mariners' problem. Mitch Haniger's gone; he's hurt. You let Seager walk away with 38 home runs last year.
Messing up,
which is a terrible idea. I agree.
And so when you look at your lineup now, and Big Homie and I talked about this last year before we missed on Henniger and Seager. Who's the big bopper that everybody's afraid of? So when you like he asked, who are you afraid of? Right? Who are you afraid of? When you see Stanton and Judge leading Major League Baseball in home runs, besides Alvarez and Houston, who's got 11, who are you afraid of? What do the Mariners have? So when you call 100 win, and I'm changing the subject, but now that because at some point in time,
you called that out, Barcot. Sorry to cut you off too. You called that out in the pre-show when we picked our pre standings and what we thought. You said 100% of who are the Mariners going to hit, who on the Mariners team are going to hit home runs, and who are other teams scared of to pitch against. You hit it on the note. I 100% agree with you.
And then on top of that, by the way, while you guys are talking, I looked up Robbie Ray. He's not 5-1. He's 4-3 with a 4.60 ERA. So he's not exactly been an ace. So he's 4-3, and then you got Marco Gonzalez and Flexen both at 1-4. So the guy that led your team in wins last year's 1-4. Marco, and I know we had a text exchange where we said Marco no one counts on, but 2 years ago he was your ace. Now he's 1-4. So you got two guys that are 2-8 combined, and then your $150 million ace is 4-3 with a 4.60 ERA, and no one in your lineup has pop. Where's the 100 wins coming from?
Not yet. They don't have pop yet.
Yeah.
But you're a quarter of the way through the season. Game 40 is staring you in the face. And I realize that means nothing to people except for that's 25% of the season. That's like in the NFL, game 4. By week 4 in the NFL, you kind of know who you are.
Do y'all know who Eugenio Suarez is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't do shit for the Mariners.
Oh, okay, but good, because he's leading the Mariners in home runs.
With 6.
Yeah, he's got 6, but he's batting like 200.
All right. So there's the pop we'll be looking for. All right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting up here pissed off. I just went down the list because I'm going, I know that the Dodgers aren't on this list of home run leaders. I know they're not because I've been keeping an eye on them because they're not playing that way.
But, homie, here's the difference. The Dodgers have competed. The Dodgers have won championships. The Dodgers have playoffs. So the difference is, and I'm not trying, so I won't say this about the Mariners only, Jason, but teams that aren't consistently battling, whether it be Seattle, Oakland, Texas, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, you can't pick out certain players and say, we got this. Okay, well, when you're gone and no one else in your lineup has been consistently in the postseason or consistently battled until October, what are you going to do when a Mitch Haniger's gone? What are you going to do when a Murphy catcher's gone? Like the Dodgers, so the reason I say that, the Yankees.
We're going to do that.
The Yankees have made the playoffs.
They're going to sign Kyle Schwarber.
On the point. Eugenio.
My point being, the Yankees have made the playoffs with Aaron Judge missing 30 games. Stanton missing 30 games. The Dodgers right now are going to make the playoffs. They're struggling right now because they got injuries, but they're going to make the postseason because dudes are going to come back. Dudes are going to come back because even though they're struggling, they're still in competition, just like the Yankees were. The Mariners, on the other hand, teams like that, the Mariners, on the other hand, teams like that get injuries and they drop 10 games out of contention.
We're already 7.
The Yankees and Dodgers didn't drop 10. When's the last time the Yankees were 8 games behind anybody? When's the last time the Dodgers were made the playoffs? When's the last time the Dodgers were 8 games behind anybody? Like the injuries, but they still can compete until guys get back. These other teams, Kansas City, Cincinnati, San Diego last year, you know, when injuries happen, they're not ready to go. And that's a big piece.
If you just missed it, Eugenio just hit his 100th home run. I think that's what it was.
Wait,
no, I'm lying. 136 home runs since the start of 2018.
Jesus Christ, are you going to get a single stat right tonight?
No, probably not.
Did he really just hit a home run tonight?
Yeah, I fucking yelled it. Yu-Hee-Oh!
By the way,
right
he
as you
yelled
were talking about it. Literally after you talked about him, he hit a home run.
Big homie. He hit a home run. They're down 3-1.
We are down 3-1.
Yeah, and he now has as many home runs as Mookie Betts, who hasn't even gotten fired up yet, for a league leading 7 home runs on a roster that's still getting it done and leading the division.
And that's the difference. They're not 7 games out under 500 with injuries and guys not living up to the contracts. They're going to figure it out.
I don't even know who Taylor Ward is on the Angels, and he's out here bopping. Okay, with Showtime and Mike Trout. You have to relax when you know what division you're in.
It's a long season, brother.
All right,
we got
Crawford,
plenty of time, bro. Plenty of time.
Yeah.
All right, fellas.
You got a trade for Bryce Harper.
Yeah, that might work too. I'd take that too. We need a right fielder, especially if Haniger's not coming back, or how long it's going to take him. All right, fellas. Well, fuck, man. We've been going at this for like 3.5 hours. I know you guys got kids and wives and puppies and all that shit to deal with, so I ain't got nothing to do except for indulge in a couple more cold ones and enjoy the rest of my evening and somehow attempt to go to paradise tomorrow. So let's close it out with this. Appreciate you guys coming on. Thanks, Barcot, for joining us, bro. Love the insight, love the intel on the NBA. The passion that it brings out of the coaching, the Coach Barcot. I love the passion out of Coach Barcot. And you know what? Hey, go to YouTube. Check out our YouTube channel, Stix and a Nos Big Homie. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and view on whichever podcast platform you listen to. We'd appreciate it.
All of them.
Go to thisisfunner.com for more podcasts and online content. Grab some merch from the Funner family while you're there. Follow me on Twitter at Stix015. Follow this guy, a Nos Big Homie. You never know if he's the Nos Big Homie at homie_anonymous, or if he's just Big Pharma homie, NHL Guru homie.
Big investment
what else?
homie.
Big investment homie was a good one too. You never know. This guy's changing his shit all the time. So, Bark, I appreciate you coming on, bro.
Absolutely, brother.
Anytime. Sorry we kept you so long. I know the wife's probably gonna
I'm
whoop
down.
your ass.
No. She loves it. I'm leaving her alone.
She's gonna throw some shit at you tonight. Love the talk that we had, bro. We got real in here. If everybody made it through the whole seg in this long, then we talked about some real shit. That's how we do. Just happens.
Hit that like button and love it, man.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
Take it in bites. The tidbits. Monday a little bit, Tuesday a little bit, Wednesday a little bit. You know what I mean?
Break it down in your lunch breaks, 30 minutes apiece.
Hey.
That's all you need to do. What you got, homie? Close us out for the people, brah.
Man, like I said, man, I started the whole pod, man, eating crow, man. I said, hey, Honest was going to do the thing, and that shit didn't happen, but I got to eat a little bit more crow, man. Anyway, I've been talking shit about Christian Yelich for the whole time, man. He been getting money and ain't did shit since. Yeah, well, hey, guess what? He's Mr. Cycle around here. You have to show respect for Mr. Cycle. He took a little bit of time off, filmed a couple commercials with his mama and all of that, and he's back on his grind. Got to give respect. Christian Yelich, I see you, bro. We out here. Remember this. The big homie told you, got you motivated. This is Funner, man.
That was Sports Fix with Stix. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show. If you want to join the show, use the hashtag StixandSports.
Winners don't make excuses.